Hey guys, so my name is Luke Maseko. I'm the pilot sales manager. That just means I'm in charge of this office here in Fort Lauderdale. I'm our division manager, Mr. Jeff Gamboa. I'm his right hand man, so I'm in charge of running this office while he runs the entire division. I want to welcome you guys to our sales leadership and development meeting today. It's probably our last one of the entire summer. This meeting is a game changer for a lot of people. Mr. Gamboa is going to be teaching you about future opportunities in the company. He's going to be telling you about a lot of exciting things going on right now in the company. But most importantly, he's going to be telling you about the things that he did his very first summer when he was actually the #1 rep in the entire nation. So definitely make sure you're taking a lot of notes. Make sure you're really engaged. I want to start by introducing our division manager, Mr. Jeff Gamboa. He actually started in 1997 as a college student at the University of Maryland in College Park. And his very first summer on the job, he actually sold $76,000 worth of cacao. That summer, not a single person sold more cacao than Mr. Gamboa. And like I said, he's going to be teaching you the things that he did that summer to operate at such a high level. So then he went on to get accepted into our company's Leadership Academy, which he'll be telling you guys about today, which is our company's management, leadership, and training program. He went on to be an assistant manager the following summer. He took what he learned and he decided to develop what we call a Cutco through college resume, where every summer through Cutco, he built his resume so that out of college, he could be what we call a 5-star recruit. So he went on to run his own office with Cutco as a branch manager, his third summer on the job. The branch manager opportunity is probably the ultimate resume builder for a college student here at Vector. It's where a college student gets to run their own business. They get CEO level experience where they get their own office lease. They get to hire, train, and manage their own team of Cutco sales representatives. And that summer he was actually the #5 office manager in the entire region. So that means he was the #5 branch manager out of any college student running an office on the whole East Coast. After that, he went on to put his Cutco through college resume to the test. And here's what's really cool: he went on 15 interviews out of college. 3 of them were med schools, 3 were business schools. The rest were various sales positions and corporate positions. Out of those 15 job interviews, he was accepted for all 15 of them. Out of those 15, only 3 of them asked his major. Only 4 of them even asked his GPA. But every single one of them asked about the office that he ran with Cutco, asked him about his Cutco office experience. So he's going to be talking today about how you can develop a Cutco through college resume so you can be what's called a 5-star recruit out of school. So he actually chose to take the 16th route, and he went to be a district manager with Cutco, where he was a year-round manager. It's the first career position available with our company. And that summer, he was the #1 new district manager in the entire company. Not one other new office in the whole company sold more than Mr. Gamboa's office his first summer out being a career office manager. So, given that track record of success or just continuous success through the business, he was actually one of the youngest and fastest ever promoted division managers. So instead of just overseeing one year-round office, he was able to oversee an entire division, which encompassed Baltimore, Maryland, all the way up through Washington, D.C. So that was kind of like a bottom-performing division at the time. And just at the young age, when he was really quickly promoted, he was able to take it to be one of the top-performing divisions of the entire nation at the time. So given that track record of success, they gave him a bigger assignment of coming down to here to sunny South Florida. And it was the same thing. It was kind of a bottom-performing division that was instantly brought up to be one of the top divisions in the nation. If you watch sports, this is kind of like if you had a really good coach brought him to a really bad team, and then he brought that team to the finals. All right. So, given that track record of success of what he's done over the past few years, last year, actually, he was promoted to not only run one division, but take over a second division. So now he's one of few division managers that runs multiple divisions within our company. So we have our Florida Gulf division, who is chiming in virtually. That encompasses Tampa all the way up through Tallahassee on the west coast of Florida. And he also runs all of South Florida. So that's our Fort Lauderdale office, Miami offices, all the way down through Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. So what's really cool is if you combine those two divisions, it's consistently the top performing division in the nation in all of vector marketing. And one of the coolest things is we sell more as a division per college student than anywhere else in the entire country. Specifically, you come from our office or Andrew Evans' office. They're the top performing division in the entire nation per college student that works with us. And the systems and the programs that Mr. Gamboa has come up with are being implemented company-wide because of how well our college students do. So one thing you should know is that you guys are in the right place. No matter what office you're in within our division, is we have the highest productivity per rep. So the average college student sells more here than anywhere else. And one of the big reasons is for what we teach at this meeting today. So, I'm glad you guys can make it for our last one of the summer. I know it was a big game changer for me. For a lot of you, this is your first chance to meet people like from other offices and realize that Cutco is more than just your tiny office wherever you're from. But you get to meet people from other offices. Take advantage of that. During breaks, meet as many people as possible because these are the people you're going to be able to get to know through the summer that you'll be seeing at our conference in Atlanta, our SC2 conference at the end of July. So, take advantage of that, but most importantly, take advantage of the value that Mr. Gamboa brings to this meeting. Make sure you take a lot of notes, make sure you bring a lot of energy, make sure you guys are really engaged. Hope you all drank your coffee this morning because he's going to deliver a great meeting. So with that, let's go ahead and bring up our division manager, Mr. Jeff Gamboa.
I hope what I say is like verbal coffee, right? Almost. Luke, real quick, I just want to introduce Luke. Luke is, out of all leadership academies, our #1 ranked college student, all of Florida United, and there are 44 divisions across the country, so that makes Luke being one of our top divisions, one of the top, I think, #1, because Dad always thinks that, right? But one of the top one or two college students ranked in all of Leadership Academy nationwide. So I think it's good to listen to a guy who's going into his senior year, having all this experience. He was a rep just like all of you. I met him in a meeting just like this. He was an assistant manager. He was a branch manager, ran his own office for skills and for resume building. And this last year was the #1 pilot sales manager in the region, #2 in the company, and back at it again. So I think it's good to hear more from him. I'm going to tell you a lot of great things, but it's always good to get from the source. So Luke, how about tips for having a tremendous summer?
For sure.
Yeah.
So my name's Luke. I go to University of Florida. I'm a finance major going into my senior year. Biggest tip is, really just make the most out of this. You're going to be hearing a lot about future opportunities and everything. Long term, I would say keep an open mind. I know when I was in your shoes, I never expected to get into management. Then I heard about being an assistant manager. I was like, oh, that could be pretty cool. And then when I was an assistant manager, I was like, I can never be a branch manager. That seems like really hard. I don't know why I'd want to run my own business. I don't know why anyone want to put themselves through that. It's like so much work, blah, blah, blah. And, I just kind of kept an open mind. And before you knew, I was a branch manager. And then same thing with PSM. Andrew, if you're from Andrew's office, we used to always talk about how I would never be a PSM. And then, one day I became PSM. So keep your mind open to things. It really is exciting, the experience that you can gain here. It's really unlike any other opportunity. And at the end of the day, it's selling knives. Sounds kind of weird. You guys have all been doing it for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks now. But the opportunity that we have to do something that's not traditional, something that really stands out on a resume. What I love about my job is creating 5-star recruits. So first step, Mr. Gamboa is going to be telling you about the alliance. Talk to your manager about alliance. That's one of the best ways that you can get the most out of this position for the summer. But other than that, take a lot of notes, listen to what he's saying today, and have fun with it. We'll make a lot of money, we'll get a lot of experience, but more importantly, we'll have a ton of fun. So
cool. We clap loud here. Can we clap for? So if you could pull out your notes, I also want to say and welcome all of our virtual attendees across the state of Florida. We've got so many different offices. So welcome, gents, lady, and I'm gonna put a little share screen so you guys have my screen, and you guys can open up to your first page in your notebooks. And you can title at the top SLDM. Okay. Good. And so before we get started, I wanted to reintroduce myself and the role that I play. Who has met me before? Just so you know, at a division meeting. So 4 of you, welcome back, and some of you have no choice. I trained you. You have no choice. Okay. But I met Marley at a division meeting. For the rest of you, my responsibility is to be in charge and oversee all operations in Florida and the Caribbean. So all of your managers directly report to me. Okay, so Eric Palacio is one of our college students running his own office. Andrew Evans, who's the #1 new district manager of the company. We also have one coming from Fort Myers, and of course Luke. And I just want to start off by saying also Brandon Denny. We have Tyler Condon. I just want to say that I really, 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 really enjoy working with your managers. They're near and dear to my heart. Andrew Evans, I've known since he was 17 years old, all the way through to where he is now. Eric Palacio, 1 year ago, I met him 1 year ago today. Actually, you're here for that, so I'm going to check in with Luke real quick. Okay. And I think that's what is so exciting to see. I mean, forget this meeting. It's just really fun to see that 1 year ago I met Eric Palacio at this meeting. He was like all bright-eyed and excited, and here he is 1 year later. He's running all of Aventura for our company. Like, to me, that's the Cutco experience. To think of Andrew Evans. Gosh, he was in my office. He was a rep, an assistant manager. He was a branch manager again. And it's just really cool to see where you can be 1 year from now. And here's what I'll say. You never know where this thing can take you. I'm not saying you're going to be here forever. But, man, while you're here, can you make it really awesome? Or if you're from Miami, super awesome. Right, you guys always say super, right? Or super awesome, right? Okay. And I also want to say that, being really engaged is important at this meeting. I don't get a lot of time. And I'll tell you, you guys know, can you tell from the walls it's push week?
Yeah.
Okay, you can tell it's time for the big contest. And if you just started on Saturday or Friday, you might not know exactly what's going on other than there's some big contest. But if you've been here past that, you know that there's a lot going on. It's the biggest 3 weeks of the year for a company, and this is the push. And ready? In theory, I should not be doing this meeting today on Tuesday in the middle of the push because it's busy. Like it's really busy. I can't even explain in words how busy it is. But ready? As a division manager, my priority, number one, is to be in this meeting. There's no other meeting that I would be at right now than to be here. Because right now, in front of me, are people who have performed at a high enough level, not necessarily superstars, but you all have done enough where your manager has said, you should meet with Jeff for this meeting about future opportunities. Cool? So I'm gonna say welcome for being here. And I first of all wanna just stress what this meeting is about. Why would we take you out of the field and you could be doing demos today? If it's the push, Jeff, we'll let us sell. Well, this meeting is gonna help you sell more. This meeting is gonna help you see more. This help is going to help you be more, all right? So sales leadership development meeting, you can write that at the top of your notes. Sales leadership development meeting. And I have 3 really easy objectives today. We're gonna take a couple of breaks, but I have 3 easy things. And as long as I get these 3 things done, you're gonna get a lot from this meeting. You're gonna get a lot of value, and you're gonna leave a better rep, better student, and take advantage of our opportunities. So number 1, my goal is to dramatically increase your Cutco sales. And I want to be very careful. The key word is dramatic. This isn't the, oh yeah, I met you, that was cool. Like this is the meeting where you go, oh my gosh, Eric, thank you for making me come to this. Hey, Luke, I know I just started and man, I feel like I'm in the office every day, but this was worth coming to the meeting. I have students that will leave here and their average order jumps several $100s. And just to give you an idea, when I started selling Cutco, did Luke tell you how well I did?
Yeah.
Okay, so like no one sold more Cutco in the country than I did. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and there were 30,000 college students in the country, and I was number 1. I sold $76,000 in 3 months. Now the prices were different, right? What's the homemaker now? $12.73? Yeah, my homemaker was $6.80.
Oh.
I feel old when I say that. I was $680. So if you take, it's called inflation, right? So if you take the inflation, it's like I sold $130,000 in 3 months. Okay, my average order is not 300, 350 like you guys know the national average. Mine is about 900 plus. Okay, mine's not closing at 60%. I close it if someone hasn't seen Cutco before. I close 90% plus. Okay, and I definitely don't average 5 to 10. I average 22.5. I average all the time a double sponsor. So for that alone, I think this meeting is worth it. Would you agree? Is that cool? And I'm going to give you some things that it's going to seem really advanced, but it's really normal for me. And I just want to share that with you because I don't have time to do that during the week. I don't have time during your training when you guys train with me for a couple of days. There's no time for this section. Okay. So this is going to be what you're going to take from the meeting. But ready? I also have some selfish objectives too. I am selfish in a positive way. I'm selfish for the growth of our division. I'm selfish for what this meeting can be. Some of you are going to watch this video, and this is a direct correlation to opportunities for you. And I want to educate you on future opportunities. You know, within the next 10 days, you could be on key staff in our office. Within the next 3 days, you could be on our 10K Alliance. Within the next 2 weeks, you could compete for an interview for Leadership Academy. And whether you know exactly what I'm talking about or these are all foreign concepts, I want to take this meeting to let you know that this isn't just about the Cutco knife sales. You can really take this to a different level. Would you agree? It's really impressive when you find out how old your managers are, how much they've done.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I think it's kind of scary, isn't it? Or think about the assistants in your office, like Lauren and Eddie de las Cuevas, and we have Mila and Josie. I mean, it's really phenomenal. And that's one of the things we take a lot of pride is your future opportunity with us. So we'll talk about that today. In fact, my number 1 objective today is to take this meeting and find out who the up and coming talent is in each office. Because in 3 weeks, I'm going to go on tour all across the Caribbean. I'm flying to Puerto Rico. I'm going to the west coast of Florida, east coast of Florida, and I'm going to meet with the top 130 to 150 students that are selected by our managers for a potential acceptance into our Leadership Academy. And that's what my 3rd objective is I want to help identify who the future leaders are for 2019 and beyond. I know you just started, but my mind is already on 2019. My mind is already on how big the division can be. And we're already the number 1 highest productivity division in the company already. But I'm surely excited about this year. But man, next year gets really, really exciting and thinking about where you could be for that. And then of course, I really want to help you get, and it's a typo error here, but I want to help everyone here get a chance to be invited to and get selected for the Summer 2 conference, which is in Atlanta, and it's the end of our SC2 push. Those of you that get accepted to SC2 and get a chance to come to Atlanta, and when we go on the road trip, we have two charter team buses heading up to Atlanta, and we go for the competition, the conference, the sales, the excitement, the motivation. Those who enter that conference are going to be some of our top people, top income earners, and frankly, to get into Leadership Academy, you have to get invited to that conference, okay? So I just want to say how proud I am of our Florida United team, and it's been awesome to see. You might have seen me, if I've contacted you back and forth through text, we'll hashtag, and I'll put some emojis. I'm stepping up the emoji game, everyone. I'm learning, okay? And ultimately, we're here to create 5-star students. I'm not here to recruit you out of your majors to stop being doctors, all these wonderful majors, going to Northeastern, you're going to University of Tampa, we're going to Syracuse, just to name a few of the colleges that I know. Here's what I do know, okay? What you want to do in life probably doesn't have the knife job in it later, okay? But what you do now in the next couple of summers, and if that light bulb goes off for you, you could see yourself doing this for a couple summers. I promise you, like wholeheartedly, what you do later for those great careers you want will be easier to get with what you do here. That's why we have our Cutco program, and we want to create a 5-star recruit. In fact, we're just excited because our division in general has just been one of the top growing divisions in the company. Last year, we were the fastest growing division in the Eastern region. This year, our theme is epic. How do we have epic results? How do we create epic experiences? How do we have epic income for you guys? How do we have the most epic TLA class? Next year, our goal is to scale all the programs all across Florida United and all across the Eastern region. Our goal is that everyone who comes across our programs are going to want to use it for the success of their organizations. And then in the future, we're here to be the best hotbed. In 2020, if you guys are into sports, and I love sports, South Florida is known for being a big high school football powerhouse, right? Between here, Texas, and California. And you could argue this is the best one, right? I have a high school here in our territory called St. Thomas Aquinas where PJ and Grace, okay, have attended. And nationally, they're always ranked as one of the top 10 football programs in the country, right? And out of any county in the United States of America, Broward County here has one of the highest amounts of NFL and Division I football players in the country. It's really cool. So this is considered a hotbed, meaning there'll be, I fly a lot for what I do in business. And I always see all the time at that Fort Lauderdale airport, I see middle-aged men, right? Not as young looking as me, right? Okay. And they're wearing like different different gear. You can tell they're coaches. You can tell they're flying here. You can tell they're flying here to scout for talent, ready? So we're going to be the hotbed. Well, hotbed for what? Football? No, most of you won't play football. Okay, the hotbed for talent. I can't wait when I get calls from med schools that say, hey, who are some of your Cutco students? We want to talk to those guys. Or who wants to go to San Francisco, Deloitte? You want to? Yeah. When Deloitte says, hey, tell me about this Naomi girl. It's like, oh yeah, she worked with us through 3 years of college, and she's definitely a standout. Like that's what hotbed means, and we're excited for that. And all of you thought this was just the knife job. Think about that, right? And built to last, we're just excited. You don't have to write this down, but here's what I will say. If you're part of our Florida United team, there are 4 things you can expect of how we conduct business, okay? I think it's really cool that we're a top performing team, but I actually don't worry about that more so than how we do business here, okay? You'll expect true professionalism in every office. When I go to Andrew's office, I know how he'll treat people, and I know how he'll respectfully teach you how to run a business the right way. I know that when you're in this office, how you'll be spoken to, how we treat customers, how we follow up with people. I think that's really important. I can always tell my students versus other students. My fiance Heidi loves you guys. And she goes, she's a doctor. And she says, it's so different. And she's a pediatrician. So she deals with your age, by the way. You're like the last age before you go to college, she still is your doctor. She says, you can tell the difference between the way you raise your guys and some of the kids I see. And that makes me so proud because that's one of the anchors of our division. Also, explosive team building. We love having people build the team from within. Raise your hand if you have friends on the team or you're here because someone recommended you. Yeah, look at that. We wouldn't have a meeting. Anyone here get a letter? Anyone here hear about us online but like not through a friend? Yeah, I wouldn't have a meeting today. Yeah, I wouldn't have a meeting today if we didn't have team building. So So I think that's awesome. Number 3, high standards of sales performance. We just expect to sell more. Is anyone already on 10K Alliance? Yeah, if you're in that group chat, you just expect to sell more, right? When I was new, if I sold a complete, I thought it was a big deal. Then I realized, well, if I think it's a big deal, I'll never sell it. And then you get into this gunner group, and it's like, man, I sold a complete. Okay, that's just doing the job. And that's what's going to happen when you increase your sales standards. And then last but not least is aggressive pursuit of growth. I think one of the things that attracts so many students to us is because, ready, you can make money anywhere. Agreed? Yes. Right? How many of you have friends that make some maybe not as much good money as you guys if you're over 30, but how many of you have friends that are making decent money for a college student, high school? Yeah, okay. You can make money. You can also get great experience, but very rarely do you get a place where you can have great money and get great experience. I had friends in high school that were contractors, like construction. They made some good money, but they were all sunburned. They worked 8 days a week. They were in the sun, and they were dead tired, could never go out at night. But they made good money. And I had friends that worked internships. I was a pre-med major, so I was all the pre-med nerds growing up. And I was one of them, I guess. And I worked at this hospital. I'm from Baltimore. You heard of Johns Hopkins Hospital, University? Yeah. So, I did an internship there. And it's great experience. And you can put down Johns Hopkins, but do you know what they did on their internship? Well, you know what they did? They pushed wheelchairs around for patients to get from room to room. That was their internship. Oh, and by the way, no pay. But it's an internship. Oh, I can put Johns Hopkins on my, and I guess it looks great. But then when the interviewer says, so tell me what you did on that internship. I was aiding in customer support. I mean, come on, right? But see, here you have a place where you can have your cake and eat it too, okay? I also want to, I'll skip the national sales report. This is a cool slide. So this is why I love this meeting. You see, I look a little younger, and this is patience. This is 2011. This is why this meeting is so exciting for me. This is Patience from Naples. She came to this meeting. She was at $1,000 in sales in her fast start. She left this meeting and she ended up selling about $12,000 for a fast start. My point is, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, okay? This is another group. This is Metro Miami and Fort Myers and my office, like from all different Florida. This is Luis Lucia, who went to Ransom, Fort Myers. She's from West Palm Beach, and this is guys from Naples. And these are all individuals who I said, hey, if you have the courage to say I can do this, and they were all at like $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000 in sales. I said, if you have the courage to say and get up at this meeting, there are like 20 people here, that I will definitely do 10K. And these are the only 4 that got up, and they all sold 10K after this meeting. They got serious. Amy Rad from Metro Miami. If you're from Metro Miami, Amy wasn't off to the biggest start. Oh no, sure, she was. She went on to have a $26,000 fast start. But then you have someone like Julie Ortiz, who was not at a good fast start, $2,000 when I met her, and she finished off at $15,000. So that's why these meetings are really important, and I hope to create light bulb moments. You guys have heard that before, where you go like that. Anytime an idea hits you, anytime a tip I give you, I'm going to give you some tips, and you're going to go, oh my gosh, okay? I want to hear it, and I want you to go like that. I want you to go, el bombillo, right? Or la bombilla. El bombillo. In Puerto Rico, they're reversed, so they're funny, right? El bombillo. So I want you to hear when you have a good tip, or if I give you a perspective, I'm going to show you some slides. You go, oh man, I didn't think about that. To me, it's not rude. To me, it shows it's working. Cool? So let's do an example. Ready? 1 + 1 = 2. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm also here to talk about my main thing, which is Leadership Academy. I don't sell Cutco anymore. I can, and I have. I usually give any customers that want Cutco away to some of my top guys. I don't need to do those appointments. But my product is just like you. You have a sales pitch and you sell Cutco products for the kitchen. Why? Not just because it makes you commission, but why? Okay, but as far as the product, you're absolutely right. But as far as the product, Marley, why do we sell our product?
Because I genuinely believe in the product.
You genuinely believe that the product does good for the customer, yes?
Yeah.
That it will save them money, yes?
Yes.
And it's worth the investment, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel the same way about Leadership Academy. And how many of you have customers that go, oh, I don't know, I kind of like the wood handles we have, or gosh, it seems like so many knives. I like the 2 that I have. And don't you hate that, by the way? Yes. You go, right? But then you still say, you know, that's great, Mrs. Jones, but I still want to help you get the set because I believe that it's good for you. That's how I feel about Leadership Academy. Jeff, you know, I'm okay with my internships moving forward. I get it, and I think you know what you know is going to work for you, but having done this for 22 years, this is my Cutco. My Cutco is how do we take students that do Cutco through college and become better graduates when they leave us. And also in a selfish way, it means we also have good candidates for future opportunities. Like, I'll talk about that in a second. Leadership Academy is all about the best version of yourself. I hashtag this all the time. Our program, Leadership Academy, is not an actual academy. It's not a school. There's no location per se. It's a program, okay? And here's how it works. Whether you go all the way north, like Easta, to Syracuse, whether you're going up to Tallahassee for Florida State, you're going to University of Tampa, by the way, beautiful campus up there. Have you been already?
Yeah.
Okay. Really cool place. There's a library I'd always do my work in right off campus. It's a cool place. I'll probably take you there if you guys win contests up there, okay? No matter where you go to school, Northeastern of Boston, or you go right down the street at FAU, Broward Community College, Miami-Dade FIU. It's a program where we give you weekly, monthly, and annual training to develop skills they don't teach you in school. So for example, ready? Money management, time management, self-management, employee management, business management. I learned how to balance a checkbook in TLA back in college. I learned how to make my first investment and open up a retirement account at 19 years old through TLA. I learned how to buy a house at 22 years old and increase my credit so I would get approved to buy a house through TLA. I learned how to buy my first car through TLA. I learned how to manage employees through TLA. I learned how to public speak through TLA. I learned how to watch my macronutrients so I didn't eat the whole cake, but I ate enough of the cake where I didn't get fat enough and I could still be in shape enough but still have the cake and eat it too, cake through TLA. Right? I learned how to do certain exercises and through energy management through TLA. I learned how to, the list goes on, and none of those things I learned in college. And I was a pre-med major. So that's why we have Leadership Academy. It's a program to help better your skills, but from a company standpoint, it's our company's leadership and management training program. So two things. We provide service of leadership and education for people, but we get back our really awesome Cutco students who we pick for management. Okay? And so what I want to do for this first part, and then we'll take a break, okay? We'll take a break, is I want to cover all of the different opportunities available for you. Because when I started, the only two things I thought about when I started with Cutco were money and that fast start contest. Can you guys agree with that? Because that's all that's on your mind. Like, how much money can I make? And I'm going to Cancun or VIP night. Because I heard Jeff throws a really, really fun party in Miami, okay? So I have a sheet that I want to give out. And Senor Lucas, Miss Faith, can I have you help me out here and just put this distribute? And if you're watching online, it's the sheet that looks like this, okay? And your manager should have that for you. Okay. Steps to the vector opportunity. Okay. Cool. Bless you. So here's what I want to share. Okay. At the top, go ahead and put your name down at the top. Bless you. Salud. Being here. And I'm not going to read word for word through the description. This is for you. But here's what I will say. There is no management and there is no advancement opportunity unless you get in front of the division manager for each Cutco division. So in other words, you could be selling $30,000 a week, which would be really nice, right? But if I don't know who you are, there is zero opportunity to advance with our company. So just a name to the face, like the fact that, you know, Marley, I saw you get posted on the group chat, and Grace, by the way, I owe you a knife. Congratulations. That's cool. Just to know that, okay, I see these young ladies performing. Cool. Okay, now I put a name to the face. Get an official handshake, okay? I know Naomi's boyfriend, Rob, okay, and Rob recommended her. But he was so excited to have you. He's so proud. He's so proud of you. And when I hear that, that's great. But when I meet her, okay, so now I'm putting two and two together. So being here is a really big deal. Okay, so I applaud you. By the way, there are people who were invited to this, or people who sold enough to be here that weren't invited to this. So part of it also is attitude, right? We're very big on we don't care how much you sell if you're not doing it the right way. And so attitude is everything. Coachability is everything. Next thing I want you to take a look at says key staff. So the key staff of our offices, and every office usually has a place where they write down their key staff. In our back, if you turn around, back over here where this SC2 Alliance, this is essentially our key staff. These are the top people in our office, okay? Now we just turn them into our SC2 Alliance, which I'll talk about. But what that means is you're the team captain of your office. Is anyone here already on key staff? Not yet? Okay, great. This is awesome. So key staff will get more attention. If you notice in Metro Miami, in Doral, or in Aventura, or even here, notice how it's getting bigger? Like everything you go to, it's like, well, where do all these people come from? Okay, ready? We're growing at a rapid rate. At some point, you don't want to get lost in the mix. Getting on key staff keeps you in the mix. Okay, so at some point today, later, I'm going to going to give you some keys to communication with your manager. I would ask them how fast you can get on key staff. And it's pretty straightforward how you get on. All you have to do is be at least your second promotion. You have to have a good attitude, someone who's coachable, and you have to ask your manager about it. We don't go out and ask people, hey, Marley, do you want to be on key staff? It's people with proactive. Let's say Julia said, hey, Jeff, can I talk to you? Hey, what do I have to do? Because I want to be on key staff. We want proactive people. And I would write down next to key staff, you can write down next 10 days on the sheet. How do I get promoted? That's my action step to you. How do I get promoted to key staff in the next 10 days? If you just started on Friday or Saturday, you can get promoted as quickly as tomorrow or by the following Wednesday if you do it right, okay? And this is the first step. This is like all the things I'm gonna talk about next are the majors you can get and the clubs you can join. This is you gotta get into the school. Cool, that's the first step. Second, 30, 30 and beyond. You guys know Dirty 30. It's when you make 30% and how much do you have to sell to be at 30, 30? $10,000, okay? But here's what I wanna share. I'm gonna review the pay. The money, when you sell up to $10,000 for a college student, that's pretty good. Meaning, if I drop $1,000 or $2,000 into your ATM account, you would love me. Okay, and you'd feel, wow, this is great, thanks, Jeff. But where the job really starts is when you get to 30, 30, because you can work part time, but what? Make full time, or you can do what a lot of our students do. I used Amy as an example in Metro Miami. You can work full time at 30, 30, but you make big time money. That's the fun money. That's where you're getting those checks. Look at that. These are all for anything with a comma on that wall, 1,600, 2,200, 2,400, 2,600. That's all for a week's worth of work. Okay, anything under 1,000, 952, 915, 981 over there, that's for less than 3 days worth of work. I don't know anywhere someone your age can make that money. Like legally, right? but isn't it cool? It's cool to know. So here's what I'll say. Don't get fixated. No, I'll take this off first. Don't get so excited about just getting to 30, 30, right? It's what you do with it, right? And this is what you can do with it. I just want to show you this example, and it gets really exciting because let's do 1, 2, and 3. If it's not a push week with all the crazy contests going on, here's what I recommend. 1,000. Anyone work out? Okay, work out. I came back. My fiance and I met up to the gym. We had a nice workout. She's a beast, right? I'm tired when I watch her. Okay, like, oh my gosh, okay. This is like when you sell this for the week, it's like you ever go to the gym, you show up, you had a lousy workout, but you know what? At least I showed up. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. You're like, okay, I'm here. It was a bad workout. I'm only kind of sweating, right? But I don't feel as guilty. Okay, that's when you sell $1,000 for the week. You guys ready? How many average orders does it take to sell 1,000? 2 to 3, and if you're good, it's 1 set. Like if it's doing the job, it's 1 set. And how many appointments would that take? 1 up to 5 max. So this is just the gym. It's not great, but at least you showed up. If you're under 1,000 for the week, it's like you might as well get a different job. Right? Now, if it's on purpose, you're taking off, that's different. 2 to 3,000, we call that consistency club. When you sell 2 to 3 grand, it's like you're averaging 2 doing the job sets, homemaker, signature, complete, or you're having how many average orders? Roughly 6 to 7 average orders, depending on, or 5 to 6 average orders. Okay, but look at the income. When you're 30, 30, when you just do the consistent job, you're making $600 to $900 a week. That's really cool, and that's still. Excuse me. That was a little scary. Hold yours for a second. Okay, got it. Okay. So $600 to $900 a week, and that's typically on like 10 appointments. That's like part-time. And then when it's a push week, our goal is to go, above. So here's like the long-term Cutco thought. Can you sell minimum 2 to 3 grand? If you mess up, you sell $1 grand. And during push weeks, you go above 3 grand for a couple weeks. And you pick which weeks you do that. And now is such a great time to do that because of the push. Okay? And I would write down this summer. How fast can you get to 30, 30? Now, who's already at 6,000? Anyone over 6? Okay, so close. Who's over 3,000? A lot of you, okay. Who's still under 3,000? And that's okay. Yeah, you guys are still in your fast start, or maybe you're not. You can still get there. I would focus on the summer, okay? But the sooner you get to 30, 30, the income gets really exciting, okay? Over here, next is team builder. It's actually not on the sheet, but team builder. A team builder is someone who recommends people to the job. Now, obviously, what are the cool perks of that? Cancun, you get a Yeti, for all your, whatever you guys do in college, all that stuff, right? You get a free gift certificate. Okay, that's cool. And by the way, that is motivating. But the real big thing about Team Builder are the skills you gain and the opportunities that it opens up for you. So being a team builder is actually one of the #1 skills in management in our company. But ready? Not just in Cutco, but in general. Like use normal non-Cutco terms to describe why team builder would be good if you were a doctor, or if you were a lawyer, or if you're a teacher, if you're an administrator, if you're an engineer. Why would you want to be? Marley, what's your major going to be? What are you thinking?
I'm doing a double major in environmental science and marine biology.
And what are you thinking? Research?
Research, or hopefully starting my own rescue research and rehabilitation.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's say you have your own business, because it would be your own thing, right? And you want to get the best marine biologists to come to you.
Yeah.
What do you have to do?
Recruit them.
You have to recruit them. I was a pre-med major, so I wanted to run a private practice because I didn't want to work for the man, right? So I had my own private practice. So who do I have to recruit? My own people, and my own patients.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say Naomi's got her own practice down the street in Aventura, right? And I'm up here in Hollywood, Florida, and then Lucas has his own practice right down in West Palm Beach, and we're the same doctors. I gotta tell you why your kid should come to me. It's recruiting. See, it's the #1 skill in management that people don't think about, right? Number 2, it's a really good indicator if someone's going to be good to be accepted for our leadership academy. And they're just those cool, fun rewards. So what I would say is ASAP, if you haven't already started recommending people, ask how you can take that to a higher level. Ask how you can take paychecks and put it up on the Snapchat. Ask how you can get more friends on the team. If you just started this past Friday and Saturday, your first indicator will be tomorrow, on Thursday, because that's when our training is. You'll see, okay, how many friends of mine got onto the team? Raise your hand if you already know this week you have friends coming in for interviews. Yeah, that's a good thing. What can you do to also help that, right? Give words of encouragement, or be more proactive, be a little bit more aggressive about it. This is Alex Jessup. She's one of our top team builders last year. And whether it's posting a picture of the posters that we have, I mean, honestly, the posters are great, but everyone's motivated when they see a big money paycheck. Right? Lucas had this really cool one on Snapchat. He took a picture of the paycheck, and then he blocked it out and said, your name could be here next to the paycheck. I mean, something fun. We'll show it later on the break. Like, that could be fun, but ready? Even though I know it's all fun and games, you're helping build our team, and you're learning how to recruit. So I would put as soon as possible. How can you become a team builder? Also, next one, it's on the sheet. It's assistant manager intern. So when you think of an intern, what do you think of? And I know I actually just kind of bashed being an intern earlier, but when you think of being an intern, what do you think of, Marley?
Experience.
Experience, that's what it is, okay? And usually it's unpaid. So for us, an intern is working 1, maybe 2 hours a week. But this is for someone who says, hey, I really want to get some management experience. And even though I'm not in Leadership Academy yet, I want a head start, okay? I want like this is, anyone here that type? I was a nerd in college, where I would go to extra credit to get a better grade. Yeah, this is like, I want to get in earlier. How do I learn how to be a manager? Okay. Also, those of you that are accepted to be an interns are more likely to get, if they put your ranking higher for a Leadership Academy interview. And these are also the first people who are considered for a paid position. A paid assistant manager, for their work in the office, gets paid off of not just their personal sales, but whatever the office sells. So it's also a bigger income. It's kind of cool. Okay. So, for example, how many of you are going to a school that's not here local to where you live, but you'll still be in Florida, like UF, UT, FS? Okay. So we know that all the managers, by the way, the Tallahassee office is under Florida United. Where are you headed next year? That's yep. Okay. We have managers close to Orlando-ish. No, Daytona. Okay, cool. And then where are we headed? Oh, UF. Or we have a full-time office there. How many of you are staying local to Broward or Miami-Dade County? Or still in high school? Either one, right? So we've got opportunities, and if you're excited, interns get you a foot in the door, okay? We have multiple people. In fact, we promoted 30 people to assistant manager about 3 weeks ago, and we have another round of assistant manager intern promotions coming up in the next 2 weeks. So if that's something that's like a light bulb for you, write it down, ask your manager. It's like, hey, I want to be an intern. For Metro Miami, Julia just got promoted a few weeks ago, and she essentially like hounded Andrew. She said, Andrew, I got to talk to you. And Andrew's super busy. He said, I need to talk to you. And she set it up, and there it is. She's an intern because she was aggressive about it, which is really cool. So here are the requirements. And if you're interested in being a team builder, it's pretty straightforward. You can write these down. You have to be at least $3,000 in sales, like most of the opportunities. You have to be getting on the weekly newsletter, which is at least 1,000. So you have to at least show up to the gym every week. Be a team builder, because we know that you can recruit people for the job and build the team. And then last but not least, what kind of attitude do you have? Are you a positive person or are you negative? Are you encouraging or discouraging? Are you respectful, disrespectful? So far, that seems to be good for all of you, for sure. You wouldn't be here. Okay. And then last view, branch manager. This is, anyone know the term flagship? Like when I went to the dealership at BMW, they said, this is our flagship car. It's the 7 Series. Most promoted. What else?
Most popular.
Most popular sometimes, ready? It's the one that put that company on the map. So ready? BMW has so many different cars, but when they launched the 7th, that's like BMW was made by 7 Series. Okay, ready? And you think of McDonald's, Big Mac. I don't eat McDonald's, but I'm just saying, like, if you think of the Big Mac, you don't think, I think of the apple pie at Big Mac. You don't think of the apple pie. You think of the Big Mac and the fries. Okay? So branch manager is our Big Mac when it comes to why do students work with Cutco? Why is it that we have so many college students, high school graduates that thrive with Cutco? It's because of branch manager. This is what separates the peers from students from their peers. So for example, it is Cutco's premier opportunity. When someone has branch once or 2 summers, sometimes 3 summers, like Andrew did 3 times, it is an elite resume builder. And it really sets our students apart because our students are able to run a 4-month, fully funded and fully operated business operation with the autonomy to be the CEO and boss on their own, but with the support of being under Vector Marketing and Florida United Cutco support. So it's really cool. Yeah, so here's what's really cool. Who's from Aventura? Who's from, here's the coolest thing about Eric. Eric is only 2 years older than most of you. He's actually same age as some of you. Yet he is now in charge of all Cutco operations and distribution and development, manager development and recruiting and sales production for the north part of Miami and the south part of Broward. And he's running his own office, right? And he's going to close up. It starts in May, ends in August, and his resume is already killer. And the cool thing about that is he's looking to create better options for his job opportunities, but also he creates options with us because of his performance. So really cool to see. And ready? He started 1 year ago at this meeting. I met him at this meeting, first time. And 1 year, here he is. So branch manager is pretty cool. We have a really cool acronym called Take the Leap. Right? So when people get accepted into Leadership Academy, they typically have to finish as one of the top 30% of our TLA class throughout the year to get accepted into the branch program. And that happens usually around January. And those students in January will be trained to run their own Cutco operation, and then they run it in the summer. And here's why they love it. Leadership. They get to be the boss. The boss lady or the boss man of the office. They call the shots. They make all the decisions. How many of you like being in charge? I do. I love it. Maybe that's for you. Maybe you want to be in a position of leadership at one point in your career. It's tremendous experience, not to mention your resume. You know, I'm thinking of Kirsten Casey. She's a rising junior at Florida State University, 80 Pi sorority. She's originally from Westminster Academy. She is now, this young lady is running all of Boca Raton, Florida by herself. 20 years old, not even 21. And she is the boss lady of Boca. We don't call her that, but she's the boss lady of Boca. All the operations, all the shots that get called for Cutco, she makes the shots. She calls the shots. And ready? She's also really good at teaching because she's been running trainings, and now it makes her a better sales rep. Yesterday, she did 1 day of appointments, 3 demos, 2 sales for $4,000. It was like piece of cake for her. Why? Because she's got so much experience as a branch manager. Also, adventure. We have students that love the adventure of sometimes moving out of the house is an adventure. For some of you, that's a big deal, especially in South Florida. Everyone lives at home, right? But it's cool to just be independent. Also, we have some students that do branch abroad, where they will willingly move to a different state or country to operate a business. Last year, we had Jeremy Williams from Cardinal Gibbons. He was our #1 Cutco rep, got into Leadership Academy. He and 2 other young ladies who finished up as one of the top TLA members are now running branches. They're doing, Real World on MTV, where everyone lives in the same house. Yeah. So the 3 of them are doing Real World. They live in the same house, and they run all of Richmond, Virginia as the 3 Cutco managers up there. 18, 18, and 19 years old. It's awesome. It's awesome. Tracer Parrish started close to Florida State. Now, Statesboro University in Georgia just started last year. He's now running Statesboro office where his college is. 19 years old. Dalila Kolar from Clearwater, Florida, in our division, moved to Pensacola. I mean, it's super awesome. And we also have branch abroad international, where I run Puerto Rico. So if habla español, or if you're, aprendiendo, if you're learning, you can go to Puerto Rico, run a business, but also work on your Spanish. Because if you want to work on Spanish, how do you do it? You get dumped in a country where you don't know how to speak the language. That's how you learn Spanish. So Esteban from St. Thomas Aquinas, when he branched for us, he moved to Caguas in Puerto Rico and ran that entire town for Cutco for a summer, and then came back. He now works for, actually works in San Francisco for Cloud. Yeah, so I'll introduce you to them, be a connection for you. Adventure, and then of course the personal growth, the ability to become more mature, more professional. Okay. So here's what I would write down, and with a question mark. Next summer, maybe. Hey, Chase. Next summer, maybe. And Luke said it best, never say never. Oh, I would never do that. Really? Well, Eric did. Actually, Eric said he would never. I don't think I would be a branch. He's a branch right now. You never know. In fact, this is my favorite picture. This is Luke, who introduced me. This is him when he ran his branch 2 years ago. So this is him at 19 years old. This is his team meeting. Right? And I was just so proud, like a proud dad, taking pictures. And, right? He got his own office space. His name is on the door. And he's in a professional building in Boca with some of the best lawyers and doctors in all of Boca Raton, Florida. And here's his Cutco office on the same floor, mixed and mingling with all the adults, and building a business from scratch. And this is us. We were having some beers because he broke the all-time region record for the Summer One conference push. So I mean, just cool experience. And this is my favorite picture. Look at him. Right? Got his little Cutco office. And ready? This is all before his sophomore year in college or junior year in college. So here's the cool thing. Any of you could be running a branch office next year, okay? And I saw this on Facebook. I think this is a light bulb. They were talking about why people would want to run a Cutco office for a summer, or why would you do TLA for a couple of years? Here's why. Would you agree that in our society, when you make six figures, that's considered, nicer side of financial independence? Like, oh, I make six figures. You kind of know, okay, they're not poor, they're doing pretty well, they're at least upper middle income. Okay, money's not the most important thing, but when you're making six figures, you're doing fine. What's better, working for 30, 40, 50 years to finally make six figures? Or you work 90 days, which would be a summer, to a year, which is running kind of a branch office and training for it, to gain skills that help you become more marketable and make more money in the future anyway. Right? Don't you think? And that's why students do it. I know that knife sales don't directly go into an advertising major, or don't go directly into a pre-med major. But ready, business skills do, life experiences do, and that's what we're hoping to do. And in this room, we have future branch managers you don't even know yet. That's pretty cool to me. This is Luke's position, pilot sales manager. And ready, this is the number one candidate in all of Leadership Academy, and they get a chance to run this office. I don't get to run this office full time. For those of you that were with me in training, I'm only running two more trainings, and I don't run another training for like months. Okay. So I have to pick someone who's super trained, super qualified, super experienced, and capable to run this office. So this is Florida United's number one candidate. That's Luke. And this is also next level training because there's someone who works hand in hand with me to become potentially one of our best career managers. It's almost like an apprenticeship. So they're a top level district candidate. District meaning full-time position. So what I'll put here is I'll just put a question mark. Question mark meaning, hey, have an open mind because you never know. Luke said, oh, I would never be here past my first summer. He's here now 5 years later. Okay? Because ready? Nothing is going to impact and nothing has impacted his income, his skills, or his resume more than being here through college. And it's really funny because now he has options after college. In fact, I'm hoping that we create this light bulb moment for you. My favorite light bulb moment is that you decide to do Cutco through college. And here's what that means. Cutco through college means, okay, while I'm in college, before I go into my career, this is where I'm going to make my money, build my confidence and skills, and build my resume. That's all that means, right? Meaning, so I'm going to be a doctor, great. Until I go into med school, this is where I'm going to make my money. This is where I'm going to work on my skills and build my resume. And it happens all the time. It happens all the time. And this was why I had no intention. This is like 22 years for me now. 21 years, 22 summers with me. That's crazy. I started at 19. I'm 40 now. What are you supposed to say?
No, you're not. On a good day, I'll be 35.
25. Well, I'll take. Wow. Okay. Already, cut through college means okay. Until I graduate, this is how I'm going to develop myself, my finances, and my business, my personal skills, my resume. And so let me give you my Cutco track. Just to give you an idea. Okay, so some of you are younger, some of you are older, and you can skip around. By the way, how many of you are rising juniors and seniors? Okay, so this might be a different track for you. Some of you are rising, about to graduate. Some of you are about to enter into the world of college. First summer, the goal is just to get sales going and earn a spot in Leadership Academy, because that's where everything happens, okay? And then what happens is you go through Leadership Academy, September through the spring, and then next summer you would return, and the highest possible scenario is you run a branch Cutco office, and you learn how to build a business from scratch. And then Leadership Academy again to your next year of college, and you have an option here. Some people will come back, and this is what Andrew did. He came back to run another branch the second time, but instead he wanted to build a business and then grow it the next summer. So he wanted to show on his resume that he could start something from scratch, work on it again, and he got better at it. That's really impressive on a resume, okay? Also, he shows that he doesn't skip around, which, frankly, let's be honest, that's something that your generation is known for, right? Millennials are known for stuff like that. But, our Cutco students, they show, hey, I can stick with one thing and improve. Or some people will run their branch, go through a Leadership Academy, and then they'll come back. Instead of running a business where they're managing people, they're more like a Cutco sales professional, more like managing customers. Think of a real estate agent. Think of a personal trainer. Think of an interior designer. Think of a contractor. They don't really have a lot of people to manage under them. It's more so, how do I manage my book of business? And some of you might be in a field where you want to get into that. And then what happens is Cutco through college says that you'll do Leadership Academy one more year.
Yes.
Salud, right? And ready? It opens up a career manager as a district manager option, a career Cutco sales professional position, full-time selling, or you graduate, you go on to that med school, that law school, that business school, that engineering firm, and you become a 5-star recruit. Okay, you become a 5-star recruit, which means, ready? 5-star recruit means instead of you looking for jobs, jobs look for you. I'll use Andrew because you guys are in Andrew's office. Did he tell you about his interview process when he went out? All his friends at FSU were freaking out about what to do for a job and where do I get an interview? And people were calling and recruiting Andrew, flying him to LA. And that's what a 5-star recruit is. A 5-star recruit is when you can pick which med school you go to, not do I even get an interview. A 5-star recruit is, my resume is so stacked. You guys know what LinkedIn is?
Yes.
My LinkedIn account is so nasty that my inbox, like right now, I take a look at all of our students who've done college and Cutco through college. Their inbox and LinkedIn doesn't stop. And that's the most positive problem, isn't it?
Yes.
Some people are just waiting for, like, what do I do? And I love that. And that's the goal right now. The goal for all of you is to become a 5-star recruit. And then, ready? When you graduate, let's say you graduate and you decide, hey, I'm going to be a doctor or lawyer. Some people want to have an option with us too. So before we go to break, let me show you 2 things that can happen for you beyond college, either as a career or maybe your first job out of college, if you decide to do that. So ready? For example, Cutco sales professional. Let me give you the normal version. Cutco sales professional is someone who sells Cutco but year round. Okay, and there's different ways to do it. We have, of course, the residential one-on-one, meet with moms, meet Mac moms, soccer moms. We also have realtor programs where we meet with real estate agents and do big programs like that. We do gift business. And one of my favorites is, I'll put this down. This is more of an independent selling position. We also have our fair and show program, or for example, in Miami and in Fort Lauderdale, there are 2 of the biggest boat and home and garden shows in the country. The Miami boat show, where all the yachts come in onto Biscayne and to South Beach, and the Fort Lauderdale boat show, they're 2 of the 5 biggest in the world, actually. And so what we'll do is we'll set up a booth. Okay, it looks beautiful. I'll show you a picture in a second, right? We'll set up a booth with a Cutco display, and we'll have traffic of people coming through, and they'll sell sets there, and they'll also generate recommendations there to follow up. Easy business. Or during the holiday seasons, we boom in business because of Hanukkah and Christmas and all the holidays. So Dadeland Mall, Aventura Mall, Galleria Mall, Boca Mall, like all the big malls in the area, will have a Cutco display booth like this. And the rep will sit there and, just like on the holidays, you ever seen those kiosks that are only there for the holidays? Yeah. Do you know why they only do it for the holidays? Because they bank. Because it's holiday season. And then we do the same thing when you're a Cutco sales professional. So here are just a few of our CSPs, okay? And then so the other career position with us is more of a teaching, management, and leadership position called district manager. So this is actually one of three things. This is either a career position for some of our people. So I think of Carlos Cordero and Micah Bromwitz over in Florida United in Tampa, who you'll end up working with, okay, and in Clearwater. These guys do this as a career. Year-round, they're responsible for students, recruiting, sales, and development in their territory. What's cool about it, it's also sometimes for some people, they want to treat it like an MBA. Anyone in the business field for your major? Okay, what's your major, Moises?
Major finance.
Finance, okay, cool. What do you want to do?
Accounting.
Okay, there you go. So if you want to go get your MBA, let's say, okay, let's say you go to Wharton, which is in Pennsylvania. It's the #1 business school, usually one of the #1, #2 ranked business school. If you get your MBA, does anyone know what the MBA program has you do, either before or after or during the MBA program? Work experience, co-ops. So they essentially say, okay, you're going to come to us, get our MBA. You're going to pay $40,000 a year, and then you're going to go work somewhere else first, and then come back, and we're going to talk about that. That's the short version. So what some people will do is they'll work with Cutco as a district manager for 3-4 years, and use that as their experience, and then either go to get their MBA, or they already have their MBA type of experience without the certificate. Some people do that.
Many companies pay for MBA.
That's right. And here, many companies pay for their MBA, and our vector managers are making their full-time pay here. And then, of course, next level, 5-star experience. Sometimes I have people who graduate from college. They actually don't know what they want to do, but they're good at this. So in the meantime, why not? Okay. Plus, there's some cool perks. As a Cutco sales professional, right? They have an independent book of business. They have the ability to make some tremendous income with our company. And what they love is the ability to have their own customers. Okay. For a district manager, I think Andrew Evans said this best. District managers have the personal gratification of being a teacher. They make high income like an investment banker. You know what they make a lot of money. But they also have the flexibility of an entrepreneur. Our average district manager makes about 6 figures a year on average. And after 18 months of working with us, they get a free BMW that the company pays for. So if you go in front, there's mine's in the front, right? So take a look. Like that Vector Cutco paid for that. It's pretty cool. We go on trips with the CSP. I mean, it's an awesome opportunity if that's something that might be up your alley. And I think Andrew said it, but it's like being a high-paid teacher. Like when I take a picture of training, it doesn't look like I'm running a sales train. It's like I feel like I'm a teacher. Ask Luke. He's actually looking to be a district manager next year, and he'll be one of our top district managers. And it's gratifying to be a teacher. Okay. And last but not least, I want you to know these meetings as we go through in the next couple of weeks. I'm looking for A players. Does anyone know what that means to be an A player? I think about in sports or in school. Hey, Lucas, go ahead.
Yeah, like A grade, like top.
Yeah, top people, right? Ready? This is one of 7 meetings like this, I think, I've run this summer. And most of them were bigger than this. Okay? So I've met probably in excess of 200 to 250 students at these meetings. What I'm looking for are people who stand out from these meetings. Who speaks through, their positive reports. And so what I would say is get on my radar. And you've heard that before if you're on the group chat. Get on my radar. In fact, I post a little emoji for the radar. Here's why. If you want any of these opportunities that we just went through, and we'll take a break right now. Anything you're excited about, it has to go through the division manager. And as the team increases with team building, I'm not going to be able to remember everyone. But here's what I always notice. 3 things, ready? CPO, because CPO talks. I notice team building. And I notice awesome comments on attitude from your manager. But usually all 3. Like I have some people that have great attitude, but they don't sell anything. Sorry. I have people that sell a lot, but they don't have a good attitude. Sorry. But if you are consistently or at a high level selling, you have a great attitude and you're team building, that's what will get you on my radar. In fact, I'm going to give you my personal cell phone at the end of this meeting so you can text me directly so I get the hot updates. And the more you text me, the better it is for your opportunities with us. Cool? So let's do this. I want to take a few moments. We'll take 2 minutes. I want you to go through your notes. And in the next, let's do next 15 seconds. I want you to pick out what are the biggest light bulbs for you. Things you didn't think about. Things that, oh wow, I'm actually excited about that. Opportunities that you're now gung-ho about. something that wasn't clear that's clear now? Let's start with that in a second. And also virtually for you guys in Pasco Hernando and Lakeland, I'll call on you guys too if you have any feedback, okay? I didn't forget about you. So take the next 15 seconds. Like, what's motivating right now? What are like the big 3 things? Maybe it's the whole work hard in 90 days to a year to become more marketable. Maybe it's I really need skills that I don't have, that I don't get at school. Maybe it's my major is competitive and I need something like this to make my application different. Maybe it's, wow, I didn't know it was all this. I thought it was just knives in Cancun. Sometimes. And Yetis. I thought this was just the Yeti Cancun company. Moises likes that joke. On my radar. Laughed at my jokes. So let's start. How about in Lakeland? Any feedback? Anything that stands out? Oh, let me go for it. What's your name, young lady?
I'm Hannah.
Hi, Hannah. Talk to me.
I want to be a nurse practitioner. So with that, it's really competitive to get into all of those programs. So I'm really hoping this kind of sets me apart. Yeah.
So my fiance is a physician, and my cousin and her sister are nurse practitioners. And nurse practitioners, you have to manage other nurses and doctors too. So that's a great point. Good. How about we'll go over here. Any light bulbs? Yes, Marla.
Best version of yourself.
Meaning what? Why is that a light bulb for you?
Meaning that you can learn all the skills that you need to, and you can have all the experience in literally before you even start your job, before you even start your life, you can have and be prepared for everything.
Yeah. When do most people work on those skills I talked about? Like through life.
Yeah.
Like through life. Like I remember there were a couple of things I learned. I went home and told my mom. She goes, I don't even know that. That was kind of cool. That was cool. What else? Other light bulbs? Give me your name again.
Danielle.
Danielle. Okay, go ahead, Danielle.
Yeah, so the fact that we can also self-improve, actually say, so we can sell and start earning now our spot, and then also improve within ourselves.
Yeah, and then you can do that all through college.
Right.
Here's the funny thing. People, I had this student one time that said, yeah, but my parents just want me to work, be a student and work on it. Here's what happens when you do that. If you don't work on things now, when you're done being a student, you don't have a job. That's what happens. So you ready? You should be able to have both. I'm very big on cake and eat it too. Seriously, you should be a student when you go to FSU. You should have fun at FSU, but at the same time, we encourage that you also build your skills and do that too. Right? Don't think we're just sitting in the corner just working and doing business stuff. Our team, there's no ranking and there's no report for the #1 most fun division, but I think we win it. I gotta believe. Okay, good. Other feedback? Thanks, Danielle. Moises.
The college track.
Oh yeah, so the ability to work would cut through college. Good. Does that excite you for your finance major, for your accounting? Cool. Over here, Lucas.
So the experience you can gain in a short amount of time, being 19 years old, running your own brands.
Yeah. To me, that was the biggest thing. I went to this meeting, 1997, before you were born. Oof. I went to this meeting and I went, oh, the whole time I kept going, oh yeah, damn, you're right. There's a lot of, oh yeah, you're right. I need to, because I just didn't think about that stuff. But when you're caught up in Cancun and Yetis and VIP nights and money, you forget that there's a reason we're the #1 college student recruiting company in North America. It's not the Yetis and it's not the Cancun trips. It's this. Cool. We'll take one or two more over here. Go ahead, Naomi.
Starting a new brand, that's super cool. It's gonna set you apart from so many people. Running your own business for 4 months. That's insane.
No one does that.
Yeah.
My friends were the manager, right? At the Chipotle or something. Let's say, well, I'm the manager. All that means is you get the key. Am I right?
Yes.
All that meant is that I open and I close, but it was the same job, and maybe my pay was 50 cents an hour more. So I'm not knocking. I love Chipotle. I'm just saying there's a difference in management and in real life management. So that's a good point. Okay, awesome start. So what I hope to have done is to figure out something that's going to get you motivated to work hard and earn. You guys feel me on that one? So what I want to do is I'm going to take a break and we're going to take a full 10-minute break. I want you to get stretched, feel good. Use the restroom, okay? We have waters for sale for $1 if you want water to hydrate. And here's what I want to do. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to do a icebreaker question like I always do, so you keep the energy up. When we come back, now I'm going to teach you how to sell more so you can earn spots for that stuff. You guys see that? Okay. So it is now 1:26. Let's take a quick 10-minute break. We'll come back 1:36 hard start. Ready to roll. Thanks, everyone. Okay. That's right. Okay. So what I want to do now is I want to take time and go through, now that you've seen what opportunities are available for you, I want to give you some selling techniques and recommendation techniques so that you can take your business higher, so that you can capitalize and essentially get on my radar. That's really the most important thing. I had 2 or 3 of you come up to me and say, "Hey, how do I get on key staff?" Or "Can I get your number right now?" And I'm gonna get to all that. But the biggest thing is CPO and team building. You can do those 2 things with, of course, a great attitude. That's really going to set you apart from everyone else. So the first thing I want to talk about is I want to cover a workshop on advanced recommendations, or RECs. Okay, advanced recommendations. Okay. So I'll give you a few thoughts. Okay, on this workshop, we'll take another quick break, and then we'll end up with some thoughts on how to drive your sales. I'll give you a really special set, bless you, that will help increase your average order. So first question I always ask is, how badly do I really want them? And I want you to write that down and think about that for a second. Because when we're new, we think about the prizes and the levels and the push week and the Cancun contest and VIP night 30/30, it's based on sales. So we get focused on sales and CPO. And I think it's really important that we don't forget that recommendations will fuel your business, because once you get past friends and family, if you didn't get recommendations, there's no one left to see. So we want to make sure we scale that. And so part of that is proper perspective on why they're important. So let me give you an example. I'll use Grace as an example. Let's say Grace, I were to give her her choice. I'll either get an average order from her, 300, or I would get and give her 20 recommendations. Which one would you take? Yeah, we say that, but you have to remember, like, how do you really genuinely feel about that? What if I said, a homemaker, I'll buy a homemaker from you, or I'll give you 20 recs?
Both.
The answer is both.
Yeah.
The answer you're going to say to me is, well, I would choose the recs. But some of you are saying, I would choose the... Right? What if I said a complete set or 20 recommendations? You go, oh, I don't know, Jeff. Okay. Why? Because the sales are exciting, the sales you get paid on, but ready, long-term business, that's the light bulb I hope you remember.
Yeah.
You can't forget recommendations, okay? So the answer is what Marley said. You should have your cake and eat it too. You should be able to get both. So I want to give you a few thoughts on that. Okay. So first of all, let's talk about the value of a recommendation. And here's what always creates value: money. Money always creates value. So if I said, that pair of shoes over there is worth $1,500. Those rare pair of Adidas, the Yeezys, those Yeezys are $1,500. Whoa. That car's worth $1 million. Whoa, because there's monetary value. Right? For you, recommendations are worth $25 to $50. Ready? Each. When you're new, it's probably 15. But on average, when you get recommendations, you're earning an extra $25 to $50 for every recommendation you get. So let's say there was an ATM machine in every office, and you walked in and it looked like an ATM machine, but what you would do is you would take these guys. What are these? Your customer recommendation sheets, and you put it into the machine. Okay, and everyone that you put in, $25 cash spit out. So you put 10 racks, just one sponsor, not a big deal. Put a sponsor in, $250. Right, just like that. Double sponsor, $500. Wouldn't you work harder for recs?
Yes.
Yeah, but see, because you don't get paid directly on it, sometimes we forget. I've had students that, I sold the complete set. How many recs? I forgot. I got so excited I left. Right? So sometimes the financial part will really help you remember it's worth it to put that extra effort. I had a recommendation, a representative that said, I sold the complete set, but I didn't get recs because I had to get to my next one. The priority is off. I would rather reschedule and be late for the next. I either be late or reschedule the next one. I have to get recommendations. Plus, think of it this way: when someone does get a set, or if you're doing the job or higher, homemaker signature complete, you want as many recs from that customer. Why?
She knows people are going to buy also.
And because she's also going to speak highly of the product. So just food for thought on that one. Hopefully, any light bulbs there? Okay. And ready? Do I expect them? Do I expect them? And I'm going to do something in a second to show you that. do I really expect them? So if I were to go around and hand, let's see, I'll use the computer so you guys can see it. So if I go around, watch. If I go, can you hold that for me, please? Marley, may I have your pen? Just your pen. Okay, actually, can you stand up real quick? And then can I have your pen? And can you hold the pen?
Of course.
What the hell just happened?
She lost
You're,
it.
you're standing up. You have her pen. I have your pen. I have your pen or your pen. Whatever just happened, right? You can have a seat. Why did you stand up?
Because you're Jeff Gamboa.
Besides that, I'm Jeff Gamboa. Did I ask you to?
Yeah.
But did I ask her? I kind of told her, right?
Yeah.
Right? Why did you give me your pen? Yeah, I kind of told you I asked you, and I asked her. There you go. Hold this pen. I said, hey, can you hold this real quick? Thank you. I asked, but I was more what? Directing. So I think it's really important because sometimes we'll ask for recommendations like this. So Mrs. Jones, thank you so much. Do you think that's okay? It's okay. I had a rep one time that said, no, okay, you don't have to. You don't have to. Yes, they do. This is part of the presentation. So I think what's really important is that we ask with an expectation to get it. When I say, hey, Faith, can you hold this real quick? Thank you. Mrs. Jones, here's a piece of paper and a pen. Go and write down as many as you can. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help. What if I said, hey, Marley, do you think maybe you could possibly hold? You don't have to hold the pen. That's just weird. That's gross to say it that way. Like here, now, okay, it's okay. So ready, assertive. I think that's a key word when we think about how to hand in the products. Also, this is a big one. Okay. And I hope to change your perspective. That's a question mark. Why? Why should people give you recommendations? Well, if you understand that everyone should really give you recommendations, no matter what. Like if you really, not because we said so in the book or not because we're forcing people, but genuinely, people should always give you 10 to 20 recommendations if they like two things. First of all, what do they have to like, obviously, to recommend? They have to like the product. They have to like the product.
The presentation.
Okay? The presentation, the product. You ready? Who do they have to like?
You.
You. And ready? One without the other doesn't work. So if I really love the product presentation, and Naomi is, let's say, my son's best friend, and we went to middle school together. She comes over. She's got her scholarship. That's great. And we love her, but we're not impressed. I'm not recommending. I'm just gonna say, honey, we love you, but yeah, that's not our thing. Other way around. Let's say I'm a customer and I am just wowed by this product. I cut up my entire kitchen of food. I buy a Cutco kitchen because I feel like I need everything Cutco because I want only nice things in my kitchen. But I didn't feel like I had a good experience from Naomi, let's say. Then I'm probably still not. I'm gonna go, hey, I'll get back to you. You hear that one before? Well, let me call you back. Let me talk to them first. Okay? It's both. So we'll talk about this, and some of you are going, so Jeff, you're gonna teach me how to get people to like me? Yes. This workshop, the next 20 minutes, you're gonna go, oh my gosh, people like me more. Okay? But has nothing to do with personality. It's easy to say, oh, because you're Jeff Gamboa. It's easy to say, well, Andrew Evans is so charismatic. It's easy to say, well, Luke's been doing this for so long. Everything I'm gonna teach you is all technique. So it's like a science, not an art. You know, some people are like not artistic. Like, look at my handwriting. Okay. But then you have some people that it's like, oh, it's natural for me. I want to take all that out and make it science. 1 + 1 = 2 is what I'm going to teach you. Okay. So for example, let's talk about the easy one first, product. How do we get people to like the product? Well, think of it this way. I talk about this in my training. People are going to make an investment, not a purchase, right? And how much is an investment versus a purchase? At least if it's over $1,000 plus, that's typically an investment. You'll purchase gum. You'll invest in a laptop. You'll purchase a shirt. You'll invest in a suit. Same thing, okay? So we're talking about an investment which is more professional. So if you want someone to have a professional impression, to place a professional investment on a professional, frankly, appliance that they'll use every day, high quality appliance, what kind of presentation do we need to have? A high quality / professional presentation. So the keyword I want you to write down is professional. Professional presentation. But here's the funny, I'm going to ask some rhetorical questions. You don't have to answer out loud. We want to do a professional presentation, yet how many of us don't even know what all the knives do yet? What the hell?
hard.
Well, the thing about just think about this for a second. You're selling me why I should get a complete set, and you're like, I haven't sold a complete set yet. I just want to sell. Like I had a rep. Oh my God, I'm dying. I just want to sell a complete set. I said, what does this knife do? I don't know. Why would I get a complete set from you if you don't even know? Do you know? And this is sarcastic on purpose. Do you know that there's a website we gave you that has information for all the product line? Ready? And it's called, you guessed it, Cutco.com.
It's in the
Many of you haven't even been on Cutco.com yet. I know that. Think about that. You're like, oh, damn, that's me. Like you've worked for Cutco, you sell Cutco, you want to sell more Cutco, you haven't gone to Cutco.com yet. Right? Oh, I'm going to keep going here. You want a professional presentation, yet you don't know all the knives. You want a professional presentation, yet you want to sell minimum a homemaker, a signature, a complete, or what? The kitchen. Yet you don't know the differences between all of them. Or all the nicknames, ready? And so in my office, if you don't know this, I swear I'm going to fire you all right now. Watch. Do you know all the nicknames? Ready? If you're in my office, help lead. Ready? Paring knife for up in the air. Trimmers for what? This is the sandwich knife. This is for meat. This is the serving piece. This is for hard stuff. This is the veggie. This is for holidays and this is for how often? What's better than the table knife? If you don't know that, you don't know the base of the basic homemaker, you're never selling those two unless it's luck. Okay? Do you know the difference between how many table knives between this one, and this one? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. 8, 10, and 12. Which ones come with the steak knives? Those two. Which one come with the scissors? Yeah. How many more knives in the signature versus the homemaker? Yeah, 3. Some of you don't even know. And what 3 knives are they? You don't even know that. And what are the knives here that are different between the homemaker? Do you know that this is just a homemaker? The complete's just a homemaker with the meat and veggie package. That's all it is. Do you know that the signature is just the top 3 most popular from the meat and veggie package? It's a Santoku, cheese knife, and the Hardy slicer. And it's only 3 more. But if you don't know what's in the, if you don't know the difference, then when the customer asks, what's that? You make it this big, huge deal. And oh, I don't want to get that. The car that I ended up getting was not the car I wanted, but because the person knew all the different options, and I don't need that. He goes, oh, well, this is why you want this option. So, damn, yeah, really cool. And then we go through and, oh, I don't need that. Or why would I need that thing where if I just go like this, the stereo goes up? He goes, well, let me show you. This is why. And I, okay, so let me get that. And it went from this to this car. Because the salesperson knew everything about every option. I had 95% of anything BMW makes for a car in that car. And I had no intention of getting that car.
Good salesperson.
Great salesperson, okay? Because they knew the whole line. So ready? Do you know the table knives? Do you know the 3 different tools? Do you know the difference between a steak knife and a table knife? Nothing, it's just the length. But do you explain it that way, right? If you say, oh, Mrs. Joe, that's for steak. The steak knife is not for steak. The steak knife is just a longer version of the table knife. It's the most popular, most requested knife that we've had in the last 5 to 10 years. And that's why we put it into the signature complete. If you get people pumped about steak knives, you only sell signatures and completes. Right? If you sell, do you know why every set has table knives? Why in the world would you sell a knife set without table knives? Well, I wouldn't use a table knife. You don't eat? Right, so you'll use the knives, you'll cut, you'll make the food, but you won't eat it? Unless you're just, like that. Right, everyone uses table knives. Right? Oh, here's an advanced technique, right? Well, then how come we have the one without the table knives? Oh, no, Mrs. Jones, this one right here, that's for the people who want to buy the table knives and put them in the drawer.
Oh, that's so sad.
Okay, we always sell table knives. But see, when you're professional, you know that. You believe, like Marley said, you believe everyone should use table knives. Okay? It's like, I want the BMW. No tires, please. What do you mean no tires? What do you mean no steak knives, no table knives? Homemaker, signature, complete. This is if you have to cook, like to cook, and love to cook. Do you know that what a kitchen even entails? A Cutco kitchen is when you sell a complete. So they have the flagship set of knives. And then you pick a set of cookware. Okay. Some of you are saying, how many of you are thinking, gosh, I would love to sell a kitchen. Right? But you don't even know what's in a kitchen. A kitchen, sorry about that, kitchen is their choice of the flatware. And they get to choose their package of what kind of pots and pans, small, medium, large pots and pans. Ready? When you're a professional, you also know that Cutco is not a knife company. We are a kitchen utility company. Right? Culinary utensil company. Think about that. So we just happen to have our most popular product, our knives. So do you know a little bit about everything? You don't have to know the pots and pans in depth. You don't have to know the flatware in depth, other than they're both guaranteed. You do need to know the knives in depth. Okay. Also, how about this? Your manager says to get lots of recommendations, you have to memorize page 16. Okay. And to have a better closing, you have to be able to look the customer in the eye and do page 8 and 9, because that's more what? That's more professional. But yet, when you're quoting prices, some of us are going like this, Mrs. Jones. The great thing is that it's really that great that you can't look me in the eye. That's like saying to hi to my fiance. It's like saying, yeah, I love you. Wait, what? Or hey, I love you. Right? It's different. Eye contact is different. So if you can't give eye contact during the presentation, that's cool because you're new. So do you mind if I read from my manual?
Yeah, I will.
But when you get to the closing, if you can't look customers in the eye, you've already lost 10%, 20%, 30% of your ability to connect with the customer, because you're about to ask them to invest and you can't look them in the eye. So what does not looking someone in the eye show in life? Dishonesty. And how can you be, right? And I know we're not genuinely being dishonest with people. But when you say Mrs. Jones or Miss Danielle, the homemaker plus later, the price, it's okay to look up the prices, but not the first price you give. And Mrs. Jones, the great thing is, Miss Naomi, it's not $4,000. In fact, it's not $3,000. This set right here, the one that's to get to for average people, it's only $1,273. Look at that. That's with shipping and tax. And if you have a 5-month interest-free payment plan, it's only $273 a month. That's not even a weekly grocery bill at Publix. How about that? By the way, we have a buy now bonus. If you get it today, you can pick for free. That's right. Your kitchen tool set, your super shears, or your entertainment pack. So I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you, did you want to get that one today? You get the free stuff. Yeah. I don't have to look down at that part. That's part of being a professional. Okay? So ready? Here's my biggest thing. I'm going to summarize this. If you want to get people to really like the product, what has to happen with your presentation? You have to deliver a great presentation. Do you know when I say the word professional, professional refers to someone who gets paid professional income to do a trade, a sport, a craft. Okay, so a professional NBA player is getting paid professional money to play the sport. A professional musician, et cetera, et cetera. Does anyone know what all professionals around the world have in common and what they all do? They master the craft how? Practice, right? All professionals practice more than they perform. Think about that for a second. So I went to see a concert, Maroon 5, right? They are practicing and rehearsing, rehearsal, more than they're on tour. Think about it. I was just talking to Mick about basketball, LeBron, right? I know LeBron's trainer, and he's in Miami and Wynwood. I live in Wynwood. You guys know Midtown, Midwood. That's where I live. And there's a gym there that's only for professional athletes. My buddy's a trainer there, and LeBron James spends over $1 million on personal health and fitness, and he's in the gym and he works out more than he's in the season. Right? So yet, how many of you have not mastered the presentation? Here's my biggest tip. Ready? You got to rehearse. Right? So it's worth it. Not the whole week, not every day, but can you find one time a week that instead of doing a Cutco appointment, you organize everything, make sure everything looks nice, and you practice all in that hour. Think about that. If you do that just once a week, what a difference it would make, where your blue book looks nice in case you had some messy things that you wrote on it. Your knives are super clean, and you practice the presentation once, so that when you go in, it's not, oh, the last time I practiced was the last appointment. Any light bulbs on that one? Yeah, so I think it's really important to give a professional presentation. Oh, Ray, how about this for not professional? We sell kitchen cutlery. What are people going to use it for in their house? Rope and leather? What are they going to cut? Yeah, but some of us don't bring food on the appointment. How do you sell a car?
Drive it.
You're going to drive it. You guys know this. I say this like every other day. But some of us don't show up on a presentation. I have this really good customer. Did you bring food? No. Well, it's like not test driving. So maybe under there, I would say in your notes, write down the top 1 or 2 things you just heard and you go, you know what, I need to do that. I haven't been doing that. I'm not bringing enough food. I'm not rehearsing. I don't know the differences between the homemaker signature complete, really like that. You from Miami? You from Andrew's office? Okay, cool. Jonathan,
Yeah.
I got you. I'll meet you on the break, okay? Okay. I'm curious if you could share, what's the one thing where you go, and there's nothing to be embarrassed about. That's why you're here, so I can teach you. Where are you going, oh my gosh, I need to do that. Marlene?
Not practicing alone.
Yeah, practice, rehearsal. But I don't mean, and some of you are going to don't do this overboard. Don't go home, and I need to practice for like 2 days before, just 1 hour a week where you put everything together. And ready? And 1 extra hour a week to work on your phone numbers together. That's it. When I was #1 in the nation, I had 1 hour where I always got everything reorganized and practice, and 1 hour where I put all my phone numbers together. So I was never doing this. Make a call, make a call. Where's that number again? Make a call. It was always make a call for as many hours as I needed, and I was always booked. What else? Other things that stand out. Go ahead, Moises.
Bring more food.
Bring more food. Bring more food. How many of you have had a client where you said, man, that's going to be a really good customer? Get a pineapple. What food should you always bring? My guys.
Tomato, onions.
Tomato, grapes, carrots.
Tomato, grapes, carrots. If you don't bring those from every appointment, you're missing out. Tomatoes, grapes, carrots. Those are the big three. Tomatoes for the trimmer and the petite carver. Grapes for the trimmer. Carrot for the peeler. And then any food they have in the fridge for fun, like when you're doing the presentation. Yeah. What else? What else stands out? Go ahead in the back.
Know the difference between the sets.
Yeah, and you got to know the difference between the sets. I think that's really important. So you guys understanding, getting them excited about the product. How many of you feel like you can move forward a little bit more confidently on how to improve the product? But here's the thing: you have to get them excited about the product. But what's the other part they need to be excited about?
You.
Yeah, you. So let me go there. Jeff, how are you going to get them to like me? Watch. Okay. So here's what I want to show you. Does anyone know the #1 hardest transition or hardest part of the presentation when you're new in your first 2 weeks? Anyone want to guess? So closing? Sometimes it's recommendation, sometimes making calls. But when you're in the presentation itself, does anyone know one of the funkiest parts of the presentation?
Talking about the company to talking about the knives.
You ready? Ready? It's going from chit chat to I'm going to sell you something.
Yes.
Think about this. Ready? Have you ever done this? So I'm with Miss Julia. Sorry. Let's say I'm with my Aunt Julia. Okay. And ready? What does the book say? I don't even know that part. There we go. Page 1. So, thank you so much for taking the time to see my presentation, Miss Julia. It really makes a difference, and it really means a lot to me. So, this summer's been an awesome summer. And how many of you don't have a problem with that part? The chit chat and catch up. You're saying hi. Okay. Then eventually, what does the book say? Mrs. Jones, do you mind if I share some of my goals with you? I'm working with Cutco because, all right. And it's like this, right? So, and that's what I've been up to. And how's the family, Miss Julia? Good.
It's great.
Oh, good. Okay. Get started. Do you mind if I share? It's just that transition. And even though it's awkward, here's what happens. It ends up okay because the product is great. Mm-hmm. But if I can eliminate that really rough start, you're already starting with them being more into you. Okay. So I'm gonna give you a couple thoughts here on this one. Number 2, here's why it gets awkward. Because when I started with Cutco, I never wanted to be that Cutco nerd. Right? Because when I grew up, I felt, looking back, I probably wasn't cool at all, but I felt pretty cool. Like, I had a good social life, I thought. And let me put it this way. Let's say I'm meeting with my favorite neighbor, Miss Isa. Okay. How many of you have had this presentation? Probably a couple of times your first few days, where when you're doing the presentation, you say, let me share my goals with you. Thank you so much. And you're doing your presentation like this. And you kind of catch in the corner of your eye, and they don't say it, but you can tell, like in their mind, they're saying this. They're going, what the hell are you doing? What is this? Like, are you really working here? Raise your hand if you ever had that feeling of they're like totally judging why the hell are you selling knives? Right? They're like, okay. Like, okay. And ready? To me, that was, I didn't want to be the knife nerd. And I'm reading this book and I didn't feel comfortable. And then eventually I would sell and feel good about it. So I wanted to eliminate that feeling of I'm the knife nerd. I wanted to eliminate the feeling of my customers thinking I got suckered into selling knives by this company. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Like, just eliminate because I'm no sucker. And you guys, I would imagine, are not suckers too. And you guys are choosing to be here, but it just comes across weird sometimes. And this is how you start, right? Okay, let's get started. Thank you, Miss Julia. Do you mind if I share some of my goals with you? I'm working with Cutco because. Versus, let me show you how I start. And you don't have to take any notes. I'm going to give you all the notes for this. But I want you to hear the music, okay? And tell me if this is different from what you know. Okay, so Miss Isa and the kids are good?
Yes, great.
Good. And soccer tournament went well?
Yes.
You guys just got back, right?
Yeah.
Good. Well, congratulations. They won the whole thing, didn't they?
Yes.
Good. Well, Miss Isa, let's get started. I'm sorry. Actually, before I do, can I just say thank you? I just want to say thanks for letting me come over today. Miss Issa, I've been making so many phone calls, and you were so nice enough to squeeze me in right after you dropped off the kids this morning. So I just want to say thanks for your time today. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
I said on the phone, I'm going to show you a product called Cutco today. It's the world's finest set of cutlery, kitchen knives, kitchen products, pots, pans. It's to stock your kitchen. It's awesome. You said you never heard of it before, right?
Never.
Okay, this stuff is awesome. Okay, but I'm not a knife salesperson. Okay, in fact, you know me from church. I'm a pre-med major over at University of Tampa, and I'm looking to be a doctor like Dad. And the reason I'm working with Cutco is because I know that I can A, make my own money. B, they have this internship program where I can run my own office with Cutco to learn management skills. Because when I'm a doctor, I want to run my own practice. And it's really good resume experience because it helps me to work on skills that I'm not really working on during school. So that's really why I'm working with Cutco. So do you mind if I share some of my goals with you?
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Stop. Is that different than what you do?
Yeah.
Ready? Never mind. Is it different? Does it feel different than how yours feels? Right. When you see that, and by the way, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. You're going to go, damn, I can do that, right? What's the feeling on that start?
It's more genuine.
Okay, A, genuine. What are some of the words to describe or what you're saying here?
Kind.
Kind, okay. Say that.
Personal.
Personal or personable, either one. Both are right. What else? Ready? Not scripted.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so let me show you here. I'm going to give you a little, you guys can actually put this in your notes. Let me show you exactly what I did. And this is called advanced rapport building. Okay, this is called advanced rapport building. So if you notice, the first thing I did, you can write down open and close. I opened the book and then I closed the book. I opened the book and then I closed the book. And it started like this. I said, okay, Miss Issa, let's go ahead and get started. Looks like it was going to be that awkward start again, right? Let's get started. And I closed the book. Take a look up here. So this book is our Cutco, it's the blue book, right? This is our Cutco Professional Prospectus. What does this book represent? Your product, our product. This represents I'm trying to sell you something. Physically, right? Actions speak louder than words, right? Body language. So this represents I'm going to sell you something. So when you say, Miss Issa, let's go ahead and get started. When you open the book, I'm trying to sell you something. But when you go like this and you say, Miss Issa, let's get started. Actually, I'm so sorry. You apologize. This is business. You turn off business and you even put it to the, now I'm just talking to you. Business is to the side. A light bulb there, anyone? Right? So now, whatever represents me selling you something, I'm going to put that to the side. And then ready? Next step, pretty straightforward. Okay. Is a thank you. So I put business to the side. I looked at the customer and I give a genuine thank you. And if you notice, I don't have any words to say after that because it's not scripted. I want you to thank the customer genuinely for what you are thankful for as it pertains to that customer. So what did I say to Issa? I'm thankful because she squeezed me in for an appointment in the morning. Miss Issa, thank you so much for that sandwich. I was super hungry during my contest today and I didn't have time to eat. Miss Faith, thank you so much for just being so sweet on the phone. Or thank you, Miss Marley, for just always supporting me all the way through, you know, in middle school and high school. So that way it's genuine. And I promise you, no one's going to be mad that you thank them. Right? No one's going to say, Naomi, did you just thank me? Get the hell out, right? No one's going to say that. If anything, it's, oh, and you know how moms are like, oh, you're welcome, right? So how's that feel? That's a different feeling than, let's get started. Do you mind if I share my goals with you? And then the third thing, this is where it gets really good. The third thing, I say, Mrs. Jones, have you heard of, I'm going to show you a product called Cutco today. Have you heard of Cutco? Ready? The answer is yes or no. Their answer doesn't matter. Your response is going to set the tone for the whole presentation because your response is going to show them either you got suckered into selling knives or you're choosing to be with this company. Watch. Let's say the answer is will be yes. Okay. So thank you so much for everything. And I'm going to show you a product called Cutco today. You said you've heard of Cutco before?
I have, yes.
Oh, so you know. This stuff is awesome. What does that show? I believe in it. I'm enthusiastic about it. What if she says no? So Miss Faith, you said you haven't heard of Cutco?
No, I haven't.
Oh, this stuff is awesome. I can't wait to show you. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. And a little extra thing, because my dad was a doctor and he passed, but everyone knew my dad. So it's like everyone knew. And so a lot of my dad's friends and clients or patients would go, like, why are you doing this job? Like, But I would say, you know what, this stuff is awesome. I definitely wouldn't work here if it wasn't the best. Just so people knew. It's like, oh, I definitely wouldn't work here if this wasn't the best. So that way, whether they say yes or they say no, we want to show that we really believe and are enthusiastic just by a response. And then the last part, my favorite part, and you see, but I'm not a knife salesperson. This is where you address the elephant in the room. This is where you address why the heck are you doing this job? Mrs. Jones, I'm not a knife salesperson. The reason I'm working, and this is where you genuinely let them know why you're doing Cutco for the summer or through college. And for me, it was pre-med, getting experience to run my own practice. For me, I'm okay with all of you saying this because I want to make my own money, not live off mom and dad anymore. I used to say it all the time. I used to say all my friends, ask for mom and dad for money. And I used to do that too. But I think it's time for me to start making my own money. And my mom's friends loved it. Because it's true. There's a respect factor there. Okay. And then at the end, then I say, so Mrs. Jones, you mind if I share some of my goals with you? Then you go into the goals. Okay. Does that sound and feel better?
Yes.
To start? So here's what's cool. How you start doesn't matter. You can chit chat. You can talk about anything. You can talk about the World Cup. You can talk about the weather. You can talk about all that damn traffic at 95 in Miami. I mean, there's talk about anything. Then you eventually say, Mrs. Jones, so let's go ahead and get started. Open and close the vote. Okay. So watch. Issa, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I'm going to be your customer. You're going to do this for me. And all you're going to start with, I want you to open the book and say, Mrs. Gamboa, let's get started. And then you go, actually, before we do, and then you put it to the side and say, thank you.
Mrs. Gamboa, can we get started?
Sure.
Okay. Well, actually, before we get started, I'd like to thank you.
Oh, of course, sweetie.
Yeah. And you said you've heard of Cutco before?
Oh, yeah. Our friends, well, we don't know what they are, but our friends said they loved it.
Okay. Well, it's great. That's a great start. So I'm not a knife salesperson. So why I'm working is because I think it's great for me to make my own money, not having to depend on mom and dad. Do you mind if I share some of my goals with you?
Yeah, cool. That's pretty cool. And ready, no mistakes. Why? Because it's not scripted, right? Pretty straightforward, right? Marley, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you can sit down. So Ms. Gamboa, let's get started. Actually, before I get started.
Mrs. Gamboa, can we get started?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Actually, before we get started, I'd like to thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I genuinely appreciate you coming. I know we're all busy, and I really appreciate you can squeeze me into
Oh, of course, honey. We've known you since, Of course.
So I just want to let you know, I'm not a knife salesperson.
Oh, I'm gonna show you. Number 3.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Have you heard of Cutco before?
We haven't. I thought you said Costco on the phone.
That's great. So I'm going to show you why everyone loves Cutco.
They love it, huh?
Love.
Oh, you seem to enjoy it. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not a knife salesperson.
Okay.
So can I tell you why I'm working?
Sure.
So I have friends who always ask their parents for money, and I realized that over the years, it's not worth it to live off your parents' money. In the future, you need to depend on yourself. So I've decided to take it upon myself to start my own, start myself and start gaining this experience and owning my own money and trying to save some for the future. Do you mind if I share some of my goals?
No, please do.
So I want to make.
Stop. Isn't that cool? For Issa and for Marla. Let's give a round of applause. Pretty cool. And so here's the thing. Why there were no mistakes on either one, because that's not scripted. So what I recommend, is that a light bulb for everyone to start this way? We could stop now and I think you'll sell more. You'll get more recommendations because people will be more tied into you. And it's not, oh, let me recommend this kid who got suckered into selling knives. Let me recommend this young lady goes to University of Tampa that's working here to build her resume or wants to run an internship. Or this young lady who's going to college in Boston who's trying to make her own money and my kid's asleep still. It's 11 o'clock. Seriously, I know you've done appointments for moms who your friends are upstairs sleeping. Think about that. Isn't that funny? Okay, maybe not so funny. Okay, last few things. Mastering the approach. Here's what I want to cover. I want to cover mastering the approach. You really have to have this memorized. Okay, Mrs. Jones. So, how'd you like my demo? Great. There's one more really important part. Go ahead and grab your cell phone. Here's where you can really help me out. I get paid every time I show Cutco, and I can only call people who I've been. So what I need you to do is pull out what I need you to do while I'm cleaning up is just to jot down 200 to 400 people. I'm just kidding, Mrs. Jones. 20 to 30 is fine. Who'll be nice enough to help me out. I'm not necessarily looking for people who you think would buy, but just nice like you to take a quick look. So here's a pen and a piece of paper. And Mrs. Jones, thank you so much. I really appreciate your help. Just like that, straightforward. And I think that what's so important is there are 3 pages, page 8 and 9, and page 16. You get those 3 down, you're already going to increase in results. And people always ask, well, Jeff, I'm not getting lots of recommendations. I'll say, do page 16. It's got to be memorized. And that's worth it for you to work on that. Okay? So memorize. Page 16. Memorize page 16. Also, think of it this way. We don't want to be passive, okay? We also don't want to be aggressive. Passive is where you let the customer run you over. And a lot of times when we are new at this, sometimes we have this feel, well, I don't want to be rude or pushy. And instead of actually being the way we should be, we let customers walk all over us. How many of you have ever walked out of an appointment you just felt ran over? Like the customer just took over that appointment and just, but that's not fair. But we also don't want to be aggressive. Like what's passive? Passive is, so Miss Faith, you know, if you could, it's okay. That's fine. I don't need the recommendations anyway. What's aggressive? Like you wouldn't do that either, okay? But ready? We want to be not passive, not aggressive, and not passive aggressive. That's bad, right? We want to be what's called assertive. That might be the number one skill you learn in Cutco through college is how to be assertive, how to speak to people. Don't let your managers fool you. They weren't always that assertive and confident. Some were, some weren't. So it's a learned skill. And part of it is, ready? No wimp words. When you think of wimp, you think of strong or weak? Yeah, wimpy words. Things like maybe, could you, Mrs. Jones, like it's sort of important for you to write down these names, or could, possibly. Like eliminate those words. Mrs. Jones, what I need you to do while I'm cleaning up is just to jot down 200 to 400 people who'll be nice enough to help me out. No, I'm just kidding. 20 to 30 is fine. Here's a piece of paper. Thank you so much. The directive, take out all the little filler words. And the reason wimpy words come in is when you don't have it memorized. You ever try to recite something, you don't know it all the way through? You start saying things like maybe. There's filler words indicate no confidence. So maybe that's a big thing for you. Okay, quick question.
Yeah, actually not really about recommendations, but how to say be passive and aggressive. Well, sometimes when I'm showing like the product, they kind of grab the book.
Oh, you guys know I'm going to say that.
So
yeah.
I'm like, I'm about to 6 and just like, okay.
Yeah, it's your body language. Your body language shows that I can grab the book from you. Right? Just think about this. I'll come back on the break. Next one. Yeah, my guys, they don't grab the book from you guys, do they? No. Why? Hey, elbow. I'll do it now. Anytime you put the book down, that's when they grab it, right? Sometimes? Yeah. Part of it, if you look weak and timid, everyone will just walk all over you anyway. But if I'm doing a presentation, if I'm about to cut food where they would grab the book, or if I'm about to show the knife and they would grab the book, just put the book to the side. Mrs. Jones, okay, let me show you this demonstration real quick. I'm not joking.
It's like your territory.
Yeah. So no one's ready, and your body language is showing, okay, that book is off limits because now we're focused on what? Whatever I'm cutting. Is that light bulb? Yeah, okay. Easy. So no wimp words. Next thing. Okay. The 4 questions. I want to talk about the 4 questions for a second. I'm going to put this on the board for the... Okay. So here are the 4 questions. So at the very beginning of the present, page 16, you say, Mr. Jones, how did you like my demo? Does anyone know when you're supposed to start that?
Right after the congratulations.
Yeah, ready? Here's the thing. Sometimes people wait. The best, highest point of positivity on a presentation is when they say, yes, I'm going to buy. Okay. Yet sometimes we wait until, we get their credit card information. Then we say, Mrs. Jones, how did you like my demo? It's already gone like that. So ready? I'll roll up to Julia, say yes. Miss Julia, and that's the signature sale that my manager Luke could do. So did you want to go and get that? And I can throw in the peeler and the veggie knife for free.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Great, Miss Julia. Congratulations. How did you like my demo?
It was great.
Go right into it. It's still fresh, okay? There's a lot of times we lose recommendations because there's too much time in between. Second thing, there are all these different objections, right? You hear, oh, I don't do that to my friends, or we don't do that, I'm not comfortable. A lot of it has to do with handling objections ahead of time. So when I was younger, we had 2 different cars. We had the Volvo. You guys know what Volvos are known for? Safety, yeah. So we had a Volvo, and that's what we drove to start. But my dad had the cool car, the cool tricked out Jeep, right? but you only drove it if you asked Dad's permission. You could only ask on the weekends. But if he was in a bad mood, forget it. I think some of you can relate to that. So, you know, the Volvo was safe, but it wasn't cool. So whenever I would ask for the cool car, instead of asking for the Volvo, I'd say, hey, Dad, can I get the cool car? And he would say, can I get the Jeep? He's like, how are your grades? Did you do all your chores? Did you help your mom? Were you good to your brothers? It was in that order. How are your grades? Okay. Did you do all your chores? How are you to mom? Are you good to your brothers? So I got smart. Instead of asking, waiting for him to ask me, I addressed it all ahead of time. I said, hey, Dad, what's up? Hey, did you see my grades? Oh, hey, nice job. Yeah, I thought you'd like that. Yeah, did Mom tell you that I helped her the other day? Yeah, nice. Hey, son. He was Sonny boy. Nice job. Thanks, Dad. Yeah, and I helped Louis with this, and you know, I did the whole yard yesterday. Yep. You got to get the car, Dad, this week. So I already brought it ahead instead of waiting for him. It was more positive. Okay, it's the same thing with recommendations. Okay, so let me give you an idea. These are 4 questions that I want you to put. Actually, technically 3, because the first one's already in there. What's the first question in page 16? Yeah, it's already there. That's already there. But before you go to the rest, where you say, okay, there's one more really important part. Here's where you can really help me out. I want you to add 3 more questions. Okay, Mrs. Jones, so, how did you like my demo? They say, oh, Paola, I really loved the presentation. That was great. You want them to verbally say yes, because when they say yes, I did enjoy your demo, that means when I recommend my friends who will also enjoy the demo. Yeah. They will. Yes, I want that to come out. Okay. Just like my dad said, oh, nice job, nice job. Oh, Miss Julia, did I do a good job? How did I do? Like, oh, sweetie, you did a nice job. And I want them to say that, because then if they recommend their friends will also experience me giving the presentation and doing a good job. And did I make you feel pressured? Oh, no, honey, it was so late. Danielle, no way. It was awesome. No pressure at all. That means their friends who will be recommended won't feel pressure either. And did you enjoy the quality of the product? Oh, yeah, that's where we got that signature. We love the product. That means their friends will also enjoy the quality of the product. Great. Now, Mrs. Jones, go ahead and pull out your cell phone. Here's one more really important part. You go into the next one. So what I've essentially done is told my dad that I did the chores, told my dad I was good to Mom, all that ahead of time. I addressed that ahead of time. Bless you. Okay. Any light bulbs on that one? Good one? Okay, good. And the last one, and we'll go to break. Bless you again. We'll go to magical phrase. Okay. I remember I learned this when I first went to, I think, my SC2 conference back in 1997. And I modified it to be comfortable for me. And this has become a staple. Since we're talking about recommendations, does anyone know the #1 reason of all the different reasons why people are hesitant or don't give or give a few versus a lot? There's the #1 reason.
They don't think they're gonna buy.
Okay, so maybe they're prejudging sometimes, but that's actually not #1.
For me, a lot of people was like, oh, they don't have the money for it.
Yeah, so that's prejudging. Yeah, okay, sometimes. Ready? One more.
They feel like that person's going to get back to them complete.
And they might get mad. Or, okay, ready? Here's the thing. I want you to think logically. What the hell is there a problem with? Right? Are you rude?
No.
Do you have bad intentions?
No.
Is the product bad?
No.
Are you being aggressive?
No.
Would you say you're going to give a pleasant experience, at least you intend to?
Yes.
Is the product going to save them money?
Yes.
So what's the problem?
You're shooting your time. You don't know them.
You know them.
You don't know the recognition.
Sure, but they're recommending you, so they know them.
They just don't want to be bothered. They don't want to bother other people.
Yeah, ready? The #1 reason. The #1 reason. There's not even a close #2. The #1 reason you get less recommendations is because you caught them off guard when you asked. Not expecting it. Right? Mac customers hate being surprised. You ever surprise your parents and they weren't expecting something? They love that, don't they? Hey, Mom, I forgot to tell you. What? Hear the mom like that? Think about this. How many of you have done a presentation where the selling part was awesome, the cutting part was awesome, the buying part was awesome, the accessories was awesome, and then you start doing page 16, and then it became not awesome anymore. And like there's something changed in the attitude of the customer too. They went, oh, we don't do that, or I'm not comfortable. And the whole time they're loving it, and all of a sudden at the end, that doesn't feel good, does it? When you have such a good presentation and the words "I'm not comfortable" even come out. Would you agree with that? That shouldn't happen. You caught them off guard. So ready? Don't catch them off guard. Let me show you what I say. You don't have to write this down. I just want you to hear the fire. Okay? And it has to do with this page. It has to do with the company page. What you don't see here, it says Direct Selling Association. We never pay attention to this. So this is what I say. I'll say, Miss Julia, and we also are members of very many national and local charities. You know that part?
Yeah.
We're also, there's a blank underneath that. You know that? In that line? Some of your managers had you fill something else in there.
Yeah.
This is what I was supposed to be for. And Mrs. Jones, we're also a member of, we also participate with many national and local charities, but we're also a member of the Direct Selling Association. And you don't have to write this down, I have it printed for you, right? We're also a member of the Direct Selling Association and the Better Business Bureau. These are two organizations that monitor ethical practices of U.S. companies. We have an awesome record with both. So what that means, Ms. Isa, is that I can't do door-to-door and I can't do telemarketing. So the only way that I can continue to earn and work for the scholarship is if I'm personally recommended to other people, just like I was recommended to you today. So at the end of the presentation, I'm going to ask you to recommend me to 10, 20, 30 plus people. If I don't do a good job, if you don't like the product, or if you just don't like me, please, I don't want you to recommend me to anyone, okay? But if you do like the presentation, if you do like the product, or if you just really like me, right, then I'm going to ask you to recommend me, but I just wanted to give you a heads up, okay? Great. You got to see these scissors. Oh, and then,
Boom.
right? How does that sound? What happened when I say all that? Like, don't worry about the words. What's the feeling afterwards?
Comfort.
Comfort, ready? Expecting it. I have times where now, after I say that at the end of the presentation, let's say Naomi says that to me, we get to the very end, you say, how'd you like my demo? Okay, there's one more really important part. Oh, is this where I give names? Here, give me that. Yes, right? Who would love that? Who would love that? Where you don't even finish page 16, like, Danielle, come on, I got it. Because you said, hey, if I don't do a good job, if you don't like it, don't. But if I do a good job and you're giving them a heads up, cool. You guys like that? A good light bulb? So let me give you how to say that. Mr. Lucas, would you mind here? Miss Faith. So I'm going to give this to you word for word. And every time you get to the company page, I want you to use this. Thank you, sir. Thanks, Faith.
Thank you.
Okay, and it looks like this. Yep. And then Naomi, if you could, any extras, just pop them. Okay, please. That's it? Okay, good. So ready? So this is right after. And if you have your training manual on you, just in that blank line under where it says we're a member of national and local charities, you can just write down magic phrase. And this is the magic phrase. Or you can put Jeff's magic phrase. So let me read it to you for a second. So Miss Naomi, over here, we are a member, and I point to this, we are a member of the Direct Selling Association and the Better Business Bureau. These are two organizations that monitor ethical practices of U.S. companies, and we have an excellent record with both. Let me stop for a second. What we're essentially saying, the Better Business Bureau and DSA, they monitor companies. And if they get any bad, it's like Yelp. If you have bad reviews on Yelp, you're done. You are. So here, these are companies that their sole job in life is to rate companies in terms of ethics and customer service. See, Mrs. Jones, we have an excellent record with both. That means we do not do door-to-door. We do not do any telemarketing. So the only way that I can continue to compete for that scholarship, or if you have a different goal, is if I'm personally recommended to other people by each customer, just like I was recommended to you. Time out for a second. How many of you have had a customer that said this? They go, oh, Danielle, we don't, is it Daniela? Danielle. Oh, Danielle, we don't do that recommendation stuff. How are you in their house? How are you in their house? You got recommended to them. They do that recommendation stuff. Think about that. When a customer says, oh, we don't do that. Yes, you do. I'm here in your house. But sometimes they're, right? So Mrs. Jones, okay. So Mrs. Jones, at the end of the presentation, I'm going to ask you to recommend me to 10, 20, 30 plus other people. If I don't do a good job, if you don't like the product, or if you just don't like me, then I don't want you to recommend me to anyone. But if you feel like I did a good job, if you like the presentation, and I actually do this smartwatch, or if you just like me, I do the no teeth. I do the no teeth. I'm like 7 years old. How can you not love me? Smile. Right? So Miss Danielle, or if you just really like the presentation of the product, if you just like me, right? Then I'm going to ask you to recommend me to as many people as possible. And the last part's the most important. I just wanted to make sure I gave you a heads up. Sometimes customers will say this, oh, thank you. It's really funny. They'll go, oh, thank you for that. Oh, I'm glad you did. It's that easy. Any light bulbs on that one? Okay, good. So start using this for the recommendations, okay? Last thing here, and then we'll go to break. We'll actually stop here. Okay, so real quick, before I stop, first of all, do you feel like this instructional session was of value to you?
Yes.
Okay, wait till the next one. Wait till I always say the best for last. This next one, you're gonna go, yeah, right? Okay. But I want you to go through your notes. What are the biggest light bulbs for you in this last section? Then we'll take another 10-minute break, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap up the training. We'll be out of here latest 3:50, maybe 4, but probably maybe earlier. I think a lot of you have appointments. So any light bulbs? What stands out, Lucas? What stands out as far as anything we covered?
Well, the transition to the opening and closing and making it more comfortable.
Yeah, how many of you like that one with the how do I start and it's not awkward? Good. Paola, you had your hand up.
Report building.
Not the elbow?
Oh, that one's
I'm just kidding. Okay. The rapport building. Okay, good. Danielle.
Like asking for recommendations right after they say yes instead of like waiting.
Yes. Don't let it die down. Okay. Like for me, like so my fiance, I love her so much. I can't even tell you how much I love my fiance. But she turns into a pumpkin at like 10 p.m. Meaning, like I can go all night. I can go, let's go here. Let's go here. Oh, we're in Wynwood. Let's go to this restaurant. Oh, let's go here. Let's go here. And by 10, she's tired. So I'm smart, right? When things are good, that's when I ask, right? So I had to like, oh, I love, this was such a nice dinner. Hey, let's go here. Okay. Right? But if I wait, it's like, wait till dinner's over and we're walking to the car. It's like, baby, do you want to, I'm tired. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Well, right. You want to strike while the iron's hot when it's positive. Okay. Don't tell her I do that. What else? Good. Naming.
Answering all their questions before they.
Yeah. How about the 4 questions before? Yeah. Because it's all the same. Ready? I don't do that. I'm not comfortable. They're not going to buy. I'll get back to you. I'm not busy. My phone's upstairs. All that stuff. It's all the same. But if you handle it ahead of time. Good. Good question. Good.
Table knives and drawers. Without.
Oh, the table knives and the drawers.
That was
I never sell basic anything. I wouldn't sell a BMW without tires. So, but I just want the engine. I just want the feel and the comfort. You want to drive it? You need tires. Okay. What else? What else? Go ahead.
Giving them a heads up and like the fact that I caught them surprised.
Yeah. So take up the surprise, and then there's a confidence that comes from that. Cool. Any other ones? Good, Paola.
The one girl you said to say like, oh yeah, I just wanted to get some money anymore.
Yeah. I mean, ready? You gotta keep it real. I'm here to get experience. I would here are my top 3 things I talk about why I'm doing the job. How this ties into my future. I'm trying to make my own money. I'm trying to build skills. You do those 3 things, you're good. In fact, during the break, you can take one of these. This is a Leadership Academy pamphlet, and you can point to this as one of your goals. Right? And there's some plastic sheets I'll give you for free. I won't charge you. Okay? You put this in the back, and when you say, Mr. Jones, do you mind if I share some of my goals with you? Talk about Leadership Academy. Anyone excited about Leadership Academy? So go off on Leadership Academy. Tell them how this helps your future as a doctor, a lawyer. Tell them why you're trying to gain skills, and they can actually see the pamphlet and just say, hey, I'm trying to earn an interview at the end of the month with the division manager. I just went to a special meeting in Fort Lauderdale at his office, and he got a chance to meet me. Now all I have to do is earn an interview. Like you can talk about that. There will be people who say, Marley, we really think the signature's best, but if we get that complete, does that help you with that really handsome Filipino guy? Okay, we want to help you get that interview. Okay, we'll get the big. Like you'll have customers that will buy more, not because of the product, but because of helping you. The product's always good no matter what, but what they get can always be increased by even just wanting to help. Because at the end of the day, I know if you think like a high school student, you don't get this, but to get a signature versus a complete is nothing for a family. The difference is nothing. Okay. All right, let's do this. It is now 1:30. We'll say 2:33. Let's take another 10-minute break. We're actually ahead of time, so I'd like to make sure we stick to 10 minutes so we can get out early. Is that cool? So I'm going to pass this out before you guys can all take one of these. And it looks like this. What's that? Yeah. So if you already got one, you don't have to take one, but we have them. Okay? So we'll take 10. It is now 2:33. We'll come back at 2:43. Okay? Over in Lakeland and over in Pasco Hernando. Thanks, guys. We'll be right back. Okay. Last part of recommendations, but I also want to end with some really sick selling techniques too, and then we'll wrap up and give you some plan of direction. Okay. Who's already more confident and excited to get to appointments, right? So let's end with a bang. Let's end with some really good stuff here. So first of all, I will share screen with our virtual attendees all across Florida. Thanks for participating, gang. Okay. So I want to talk to you about the order of recommendations. Okay. Order of recommendations. This is a really easy thing for me to explain. And once you get this, recommendations become easier. Sometimes people are caught up in, okay, if I do page 16, then I get all these recommendations. When it's actually not the case. Getting recommendations is a multiple step process. You'll start with page 16, and you'll do multiple things, and slowly but surely you'll get to 10, 20. And I averaged about 20 doing what I'm going to show you. So I want you to know that whenever I asked initially, I would usually get 5 to 10. But how do I end up at 20 every time? Well, first things, I always ask the 4 questions. So how'd you like my demo? And of course, when do you ask that? Right after they say yes. You can remember that was your tip that you said. Okay. So how'd you like my demo? Good. Did I do a good job? Did you enjoy the presentation? You didn't feel pressure, did you? Great.
No, you cut. What's my latest?
Oh hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yes.
What happens when they say no though? And like you already do the drop down, the whole thing, and you're still gonna ask them for Rex. But like they said no, behind you still ask them right there also.
They don't do that to me.
Alright.
Well, I just genuinely don't know. That's like asking what if they don't buy. I mean, I don't ask that going in, so you can talk to me after. I don't know. I don't know how that works. So cool. 4 questions. I don't use double negatives. I don't not get recommendations. Right. So I sometimes don't have a sale, but I always get recommendations.
That's what I mean. Like if they say no to buying, not to the Rex, to no to buying, like right there, is that also when you ask them about the 4 questions?
Well, no, because you have to drop down to all the different
I'm saying
sales.
after the whole drop down.
Yeah, oh, then after. Okay, yeah.
I think he's saying like the approach as to how you would like ask for.
When you would ask for a recommendation?
After you
at
dropped
the
down
end.
and you did everything you could and there's
At the end. Yeah, at the end. Okay. So the 4 questions, right? Then you go into page 16. Mrs. Jones, so here's one more really important part. Here's where you can really help me out. I get paid every time, blah, 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 blah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help. Assertive, nod your head, not wimpy. Got it? Okay. Then they're going to give you the sheet back. I don't care how many they give you. You should still end up with 10 to 20 at the end. They can give you 1 after this. You'll still get 10 to 20. They can give you 5. They can give you 50. That's round 1. So think of it as rounds. Then they'll give you the sheet. Most of you go, thank you so much, and you stop. I do another couple rounds. I'll do the hand back next. Okay. So, Miss Faith, you're my customer, okay? And I did page 16, and she's gonna say, here you go, honey, right?
Here you go.
Ah, thanks, Miss Faith. Okay, good, good, thank you. Actually, now, right, and I hand it right back. So what, I take it. Oh, thanks, Miss Faith. Okay, actually, and with confidence, not, thank you, Miss Faith. Actually, now, can you write down people who won't buy at all, but they're really nice and they'll help me for the scholarship? Okay, thank you. Keep working on the order. Right? So thank you. I turn around. Oh, thank you so much for those 3, 4, 1. Thank you so much. Now can you write down anyone who won't buy, but they're really nice and they'll help me for the scholarship? And I'll say it 2 more times. This is just, now can you write down anyone that won't buy, but they're really nice and they'll help me for the scholarship? Why? Because whatever 2, 5, 6, 10, 20 they give you to start are the people in their mind that will probably buy. They're trying to help you. But what you're trying to do is get them off of who they're prejudging. How many of you had an order or orders with customers who the person who recommended them said, oh, they're cheap or they're not buying? My mom's whole list, my mom said, well, they're not buying anything. I sold like $30,000 from my first list of mom. Okay, your customers are prejudging. Mrs. Jones? Okay, thank you so much. Now, can you go ahead and write down anyone that's really nice? They won't buy anything, but they're really nice. And they'll at least see me for the scholarship. That's round 2. So maybe you get 5 more, 10 more. But ready? Is it worth it to get those extra ones?
Yes.
Why? Because making you more money, more network. Okay. So let's say the first round they gave me 5, they give me another 5. Or maybe another 4. So I'm at 9. Okay. Then I go and talk about the smiley. Okay, I talk about the smiley. Okay, so if you take a look here, you guys know the smileys, right? What's the smiley represent? Sponsor. So if they are just shy of whatever smiley they're short of, so round 2. Oh, thanks again, Miss. Oh, there you go. Thanks again, Miss Faith. And then, ooh, and I get like surprised. Right? Watch. So this is the second round. And those are the people who are nice, Miss Faith. Thank you so much. Oh, actually, you're one more away from the smiley. Could you get to the smiley because it helps me with a sponsor? Even if it gets me one more. Because, and why smiley? Because smiley is not intimidating. It's not overwhelming. Instead of saying, hey, Miss Faith, actually one more gets me to my professional sponsorship. Smiley sounds like the 5th grade kid talking to their teacher. It's like, that's like the smiley. Can you get to the smiley face? And the moms usually go, I can do the smiley. Yeah, it's like not intimidating, smiley. If they gave me 11 or 12, they already got me a sponsor, right? I'll go, ooh, actually, Miss Faith, can you get to 20? Can you get to the next smiley? Because that actually gets me a double sponsor instead of a single one. Could you do that real quick? So just get to the next smiley face. That's round 3. So let's say I'm at 9. I do the smiley. Now I'm at, let's say, 12 or 13. So first of all, I've had 3 rounds so far. Okay. Then I'll qualify. What does that mean? Well, I'll go through and I'll ask the appropriate questions based on the sheet. And there are little emojis to help you really know who your customers are. One of the most overviewed, underlooked, most forgotten things that will help move your business the most is knowing who the heck you're calling. Right? If you have a list of people who all work at night and are home during the day, but you keep calling them at night, that's like backwards, right? But if you don't know that, so for example, what's the smiley face represent? Anyone who's really what?
Nice.
Anyone's nice. Okay. You have a dollar sign. Now, obviously higher income, but really, who likes, say Danielle, who likes nice things? Okay. You don't have to have this to like nice things. There are very middle income Mac customers, just normal house, not 1 or 2 cars, maybe a big normal that like nice things. My uncle's an accountant. You don't think of an accountant as balling out, do you? Do you? No, okay, that's not the case. It's a nice job. It's an accountant. But when he gets something for his house that's in his man cave, like the TV he has, the stereo he has, they're like top of the line because he only wants nice stereo equipment. It's the same thing. What's the heart? Yeah, they love to cook. The house means they have a big house. Because if you have a big house, you probably entertain a lot, which means you probably cook a lot or you have a lot of money. One of the 3. Okay. Then over here, the pound sign, the hashtag sign, number of kids. So if I see, let's say Miss Daniela has a smiley face, so she's sweet. She has a heart, she loves to cook. Dollar sign, she likes nice things. The house, she has a big house. 3, she's got 3 kids. I want to call her. And the last one is AM, PM. When's the best time to call them? Okay. That way you're not wasting time. I don't know. There's a good percentage of your phone time that's wasted because you don't know this and you're calling the wrong people at the wrong time. Okay. And then this is the game changer with the new technology. And texting is not new, but when I sold Cutco, we didn't have texting. Believe it or not. That's how old I am. So with texting, it is so much easier to what's called text a yes. And you can write down text yes. This is an easy way to eliminate a lot of the excess work, okay? So what I'll do is I'll say, Mrs. Jones, actually, it's a lot more comfortable and professional if I give them a heads up. So these are names they've already written down. So Miss Marley, it's a lot more comfortable and professional if they get a heads up. So actually a lot of people will just text their friends just that I'll be giving them a call. I can actually do it for you, and I just hold my hand out. Because a lot of times mom, how many of you have a mom, they don't even know how to work their own phone. They're like, how do you just push the button, mom? That's my mom. Like, how do you get the picture? You push the picture button, the camera. Right? But a lot of moms don't know how to do a mass text per se. You say, I could do that for you. Like, oh, sure. And I'll just text the top 5 people. I don't necessarily do the whole list, but at least their best 5. And I'll ask them. See where it says star? First star, that's what it says. I'd say, who would the best, like, who would you go see first? And they'll star who they think are going to be the best customers, and I would at least text those people, if not the whole list. And think about this logically. How cool is this? Let's say Miss Faith is my customer. Whoops. She buys a signature. She recommends me to all of her girlfriends they go to brunch with. All the soccer moms. And I can do it for you. So you text at the bottom of the sheet. It tells you what to text. It says, hi, I just saw Cutco from Jeff Gamboa, our neighbor. You don't have to buy anything because he gets paid just to show it. It helps him with school. It's quick and fun. Would you mind hearing him out? Pretty straightforward. I actually even have it copied in my cell phone on my notes so that when it's time, I'll forward it to the customer and then she'll have it and I can send that to the friends. So it's just kind of quick. Imagine this. So I'm with Miss Faith in her house. She's about to get she gets a signature. We're talking and she sends this text message. Before I even get out of the house, she'll get responses. Sure, have him call me. Okay. And she'll say, oh, Lucas's wife said okay. Oh, and Marlene, she's my best friend. She said cool. So what's cool is you can actually call them on the spot now. Right? Can you tell our caller right now? Call her. Hi, Miss Marlene. Hi, it's Jeff Gambo. Yeah, I'm with Miss Faith right now. She says hi. She says call her. Yeah, I'm down the street. I'm supposed to have 2 more appointments today. I'm not booked. She said you're home. Could you see me right now? Okay, cool, I'll be right over. No phone approach. She said yes. Every time someone says yes on the text, you don't even have to do the phone approach usually. They'll just let you come over, right? Or let's say she recommends me to Miss Naomi, but Naomi's not available. She texts later. Make sure you keep following up with Miss Faith to see who texted back. You guys understand that? And she'll say, oh, my neighbor Naomi said you can call her. Hey, Miss Naomi, this is Jeff, friends with Miss Faith. Thank you for your help. Go ahead, sweetie, call her up. Hi, Miss Naomi. Yeah, No, I go to FSU. You did? Oh my gosh. You're Seminole too? Cool, sweet. Well, I have the scholarship, and can I pull my schedule up? Okay, cool. I can do 4 o'clock tomorrow. I can do 8 o'clock Monday. Monday? Okay, cool. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help. You have no idea how much this means to me. Do you have a pen and a piece of paper? You give the whole firm up. But their approach is so much easier. Because why? They already said yes. I used to do this, but I didn't have text. I would call from the customer's house. So I would, and this is like old school. I would sit there. They would give me 20 recommendations. I would pick their best 3 for the time. I'd say, who are your best 3? And we would call them together, and we would call Lucas and Marley and Naomi from her house, and then I would just book my appointment in the schedule. No phone time. Right? Is that a light bulb for people? Right? Okay. And the last one is my favorite. It's not for every customer. If you have a mom that is that mom, one of you texted me about your Facebook. Yeah. You have that mom who is just all about social media. Like, my whole life is on social media. Look at Danielle. She just won this award, and she'll post a picture of you, the daughter, and all this. Like, if that's the mom, they're always connected, right? Because why do they send and post a lot? Because they have a lot of friends. Have them put a sweet post about what you're doing. Okay, and Marley, who is the customer and what did they post for you?
Her name was S. Reynolds. She was a recommendation I got from one of my next door neighbor customers that I actually sold to. I just pretty much use the format, but kind of making it more comfortable for her and for other people. Eric sent me the one that was his base, and I pretty much just did that, and I think I've already gotten a few responses.
Yeah, and what I always recommend is selfie for sure. Do selfie with the mom. And if she's Mrs. Jones, you do Facebook? Yeah, a lot of the moms help me out by posting on Facebook. They're like, oh yeah, any excuse for them to get on Facebook. Yeah. And you do a little selfie with them, or they do, and they smile, and they take pictures. They whatever their style is, and help them craft a cool message. Okay. So right here, I typically just from these, it's really round 1, round 2, round 3, and then I qualify in text. I usually get between 10 and 15 here. But what did I tell you? I averaged. How do I get to 20? That's the next section. Okay. Okay. Last thing. I'm going to go quickly on this one. Some of you already have this. Who has this already? Okay, so just my office. Okay, so if you're from Metro Miami, or if you don't have this, I want you to take one of these. And I'm going to give you a plastic sheet. So it looks like this. It says my goals. And my goals. And we'll have everyone here. Everyone can take 2 of these sheets. One is for this. The other one is for your TLA pamphlet. Okay. Two. Everyone takes 2 of these. And I'll take the extras. I'll take extras.
It's fine, it's fine.
There you go. Thank you. We'll pass those extras to Cool.
The TLA sheet goes after the goal sheet.
Yeah, let me show you where you put it. So I always put this. Ready? You got fast start. If your fast start's over, you don't have a fast start sheet. President's Club letter. Does anyone not have a President's Club letter?
Which one?
So how are you going to talk about President's Club?
I just mentioned I don't have this.
Yeah, get a President's Club letter. Tell your manager. Ready? Think about this. People are visual, aren't they?
Yeah.
Would you sell Cutco and not show up to the house and not have knives?
No.
Yeah, so if you want to get them excited about the President's Club, you gotta have a President's Club letter. Your manager can get this for you. You guys have an All-American scholarship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say the President's Club letter is more impressive than the scholarship. Right? So make sure you have that. Just make a note. This is the automatic sponsorship. And I put it right before you start the presentation. That's where I put. Okay. And this is where I talk about Mrs. Jones. And my final goal, like my last goal, is to earn a chance to participate in Leadership Academy. And then after this, I go into my scissors, or to the super shears after. Oh, I'm sorry. After this, I go into Mrs. Jones. Like I said in the phone, you don't have to get anything. So I know, just so I know, you cook as you have to, like to, love to, great. You're gonna love your set of Cutco. Okay, any questions on that one? And then the other sheet should be your first sheet. Okay, should be your first sheet. And if you're in my office, this is due tomorrow anyway. So if you're in my office, and this is Rihanna, one of our reps from she went to Gibbons. She goes to Florida Gulf Coast. And the first thing says, what is your contest goal? So whatever your either fast start or your push period goal, you just write it in there. And what this is doing, or from my office, what is this doing? Well, I have this.
Makes it more personal.
Yeah, it personalizes your goals and it kind of summarizes your goals. When you say, Mrs. Jones, so do you mind if I share some of my goals with you? You go to the sheet, you summarize your goals, and you can go through all the individual sheets later. You can go through the scholarship and the fast start. Okay. So for example, push period goal. Number 2, long-term Cutco goal. Maybe it's to get into Leadership Academy. Maybe you want a career with us. Maybe that's something you're excited about. Just a lot of people put Leadership Academy and Cutco through college. This one's already printed. It says, introduce me to 1,000 new customers. What does that mean? Yeah, we want to talk about recommendations. And then the last one here is event. You put event planning business. What's your long-term non-Cutco goal? What do you want to do after college, and why are you doing Cutco through college to get there? And then you personalize it. 3 pictures, ready? Number 1 is picture of you that has anything to do with school. I like high school, like senior photos or graduation or fun photos. Or you can do it with college. Maybe you're at a tailgate at FSU, like when you're out with your friends. That can be a picture here. I like those because it shows that you're a student, not a salesperson. I like your college or high school logo. I like a picture of you and your family or you and your friends. So what am I trying to eliminate? That I'm a knife salesperson. I'm not a knife salesperson. In fact, right before this, you said I'm not a knife salesperson, so that you emphasize that. The light bulb? Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, any questions on that? All right. This is not a tip. This is my 10-second tip. Don't be chicken. Call your chicken list. Right? What's a chicken? What's the chicken list? It's your acquaintances. Who are your acquaintances? Yeah, people you sort of know, okay? Or it's been a while, all right? What I recommend, now before tomorrow's phone jam, I know in my office and Andrew's office, Eric's, it should be the same. The assignment is to have 30 to 50 new names and numbers before you show up. I wouldn't just get 30. If I could, I would get 50, 70 to 100, grab directories. So tomorrow's phone time should be the easiest phone time of your fast start. Who's already been to a Wednesday phone jam, Wednesday team meeting? Yeah, you know what it's like. If you're not prepared, it's a lot harder. So call your chicken list. I want to end with my two biggest and my two favorite techniques, okay? This is how I always get tons of recommendations. You know the order, the 3 rounds I did earlier? And you do 4 questions, page 16. Hand it right back. Who's nice? Won't buy, but they'll be nice enough to see me. Ooh, how about the smiley? Can you get to the smiley? That's 3 rounds. And I'll usually get between 10 and 15, 10 and 20. There are customers where I'll sell a homemaker and get 40 recommendations. I'll sell a complete and get 60 recommendations. How does that work? It has to do with my 60-40 rule. Okay, so here's how it works. 60-40 is 60% recs, okay, and 40% sales. So here's how it works. You guys know you're allowed to give free stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now, free stuff is not meant to penalize you. Some people said, oh, I hate giving free stuff. I don't, because I get more sales. And I also get more recommendations. You'll see why. So you guys know this equation from training. You're allowed to give away 20 points for every $100 they spend, right? So even if you just take a look, if I spend $500 on Cutco, how many 100s go into 500? 5 times 20 is, yeah, I can give away 100 points on that. What I'm going to show you that you don't know is that it's actually higher. You can actually give 30 points per 100, but you don't know that unless you come to my meeting. You're actually allowed to give more for free. Now you're probably thinking, Jeff, why in the world would I want to give more? Because what I'm going to show you, you're going to want to give more sometimes. And here's why. So in this case, let's say I sell a homemaker. Right? What's the homemaker cost?
$12.73.
$12.73. Normally, how many points can I give? Well, 100 goes into $12.73 12 times. 12 times 20, it's $240. But under this, it's going to be 12 times 30, which is 360. So why in the world would I want to give 360 points away, let alone, why would I want to give 240, let alone 360? Here's why. Whenever I close a sale, let's say this is a homemaker, I now have 360 points. I would never give all of my points away to try and get that sale. I would save points. So what's 40% of 360? 130, let's call it. So there's 130 points there. And then what's the rest? Another 230, right? So that's 360. So of my total, I would only give 40% to make the sale. So if the customer really needed a deal, I would give her a pair of super shears for free. Well, how many points is the super shears? It's 75 points. So I take that off. Now I have roughly what? 60 points left over. Let's say I really need to hook up a deal. Maybe I gave her 2 table knives for free. Now I pretty much am done. So she got a free pair of super shears. She got a free set 2 more table knives. But I still have 230. So when I'm doing the recommendations, right? If they don't get to 20, I'll say, ooh, Miss Naomi, actually, because of what you got on the order, if you can get me a double sponsor, which is a full page, I can actually give you that veggie peeler that you liked earlier. We didn't put it in the order. I can throw that in for free. It's so funny. And now they know people. Like, oh, I can. All of a sudden, now they know people. Why is that? Because now there's an incentive. Okay, so watch. So I get a vegetable peeler. How many points is the vegetable peeler? Roughly. You guys haven't sold enough.
30 something.
Yeah, 30, right? So now I've got 200 points, but I've got 20 recommendations. And maybe she's writing 17 recommendations, 18. She's going to get to 20. She wants a vegetable peeler. Right before she gets to 20, I'm going to say, hey, Mrs. Jones, tell you what, I can keep going. And they always go, well, what do you got? Right? And I'll say, well, Mrs. Jones, you like that ice cream scoop? You like that ice cream scoop? That's roughly 30 points. Another 20, and they're right down 20. You like that cheese knife? The cheese knife for the entertainment pack? It's another 30 points. Another 20. So I'm gonna give away accessories. So ready? Check out this order. I gave away all my points. So instead of $1,273, my CPO is like $900. But I don't care because I sold the Homemaker Plus 8. My CPO is lower, but and the customer got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things for free. And I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I had 120 recommendations, all of which are going to talk to this lady who's going to say, oh yeah, he'll hook you up if you recommend a lot of friends. And I'll go to the houses. And this happened all the time. I would go to the house. Let's say I saw Danielle and I gave her this deal. And she gave me 100 recommendations, but I hooked her up with all this free stuff. She'll tell her friends, I promise you. So let's say she recommends me to Marley. And I go to Marley's house. This happened all the time. I'd walk in. Oh, hi, Miss Marley. Oh, hi, sweetie. How are you? Hey, I want some free stuff, so I'm going to give you some names, okay? Okay.
Okay.
All the time. Or when I walk in, it was Miss Peggy Lewis. She recommended me. She bought like $2,000. It wasn't a big deal, but I gave her a whole bunch of free stuff. She gave me like 40 recommendations. And every person I went to when I walked in, Lisa Buck said, oh, hey, honey. Hey, I know about the free stuff. I'm going to give you lots of names, so hook it up, okay? And when I got to recommendations, there was no page 16. There was no 4 questions. It was, oh, is this, okay, what can you do? What can you do? Like, just start. Easiest. What I didn't tell you is that half the time I'm not asking because of this. When I get 10, 20 recommendations, and most of the time it's because the customer already knows how it works. Okay? So let me don't worry about the numbers. Like, how many points is that? Who cares? Give free points to bribe them for recommendations. Light bulb? All the time. So I would sell homemakers and my CPO was really low. And back in the day, we didn't have Rolo. You would have to bring in the piece of paper with all the order. And all the reps on my team would go, oh my gosh, you got worked on that sale. Your CPO is so low. And I would say, not at all. In fact, I would sell homemakers and signatures and completes, our version of that, all the time and give nothing away for free to get the sale. But when I got to page 16, I would give as many points as possible and I would lower my CPO, but I'd walk out with a really happy customer and I would sell homemakers and get 80 recs all the time. My average was homemaker and 80 recs. Homemakers, 40 recs. I got them all the time. Light bulb, you like that? Yeah, so all you have to do is just get really good at giving points away and use it to get, I always do it for at least a 20 sheet. If I get double smiley face, then I'll give it away. Cool? Any questions on this? This is pretty, I could stop here. You're going to get a lot of recs. Okay, cool? All right, last thing. You guys remember this?
Yeah.
What's this from?
For like, if they don't want to buy a home.
Yeah, it's the dropping down. Good problem. So ready? What's the one we start with? Then what's higher?
Signature.
Plus.
10.
I mean, you guys know this. Then
Complete plus 12.
oh, who said ultimate? Who said ultimate? We don't say ultimate. What do we say? Complete. Yeah. Why not ultimate? It's like scary. Always say complete. Okay. Always say complete. Plus 12. What's above that?
Kitchen.
Kitchen. Okay. Kitchen is right. Right. A complete set, or it doesn't have to be a complete set usually. So it's the knives plus cookware plus flatware, right? Which is the same silverware, same thing. Okay. And then of course you go galley. How many table knives?
6.
Yeah.
Studio spacing.
Yeah. You have the 8 starter sets, and then you have a custom set. And I don't even write one, like this thing. I don't even do that. Why? How come I don't write down one knife? Well, I think it's not really good. I think it's terrible for the customer. Like sell them a set. Sell them a set for sure. Okay. So far so good.
Yes.
Now watch. The average order across the country ranges from $300 to $350. And sometimes people think, oh, the average order with Cutco is $350 because that's an average amount of knives. But you guys know the prices now. What's $300 get you?
Like
what's $300 get you?
1.5 knives.
2 knives.
2 or 3, right? And what do you do? What can you do with 2 or 3 knives? Nothing. The studio set has 4 and it's meant for single college students. It's got a sandwich knife, an air knife, a small stuff knife, and a meat knife. That's meant for like your mom and dad hook you up for when you go back to your dorm and they give you a studio. That's what the studio is meant for. So what is 3 knives for? No one. Okay. So how is the average order 300? Ready? And this is part of from our training earlier. The average order is 300. Okay. Watch this. Because the average customer says no
2 to 5 times.
2 to 5 times before they say yes. Just in general, not with knives, with everything. Like any shoppers here, anyone like stuff, like to buy stuff? Okay. You like stuff for your car, right? Any girls like to shop? What do you like to buy? Clothes, shoes. Okay. You ever go and you're about to go looking for some cool car parts to modify your car, or you look at those really cute shoes you want to get, and you ever walk in, and how many times have you walked out with a sale, like you bought something, but you said no a couple of times, right? Like you walk into the store, you go, ooh, maybe I'll get those. Oh, no, I shouldn't. And then the salesperson goes, ooh, they're super cute. We have them in suede. Can I see? Right? Then you try them on, and then you say, okay, no, you should try them on. Okay, let me see. Gosh, they are comfortable. Right? And you say, oh, well, I'm not really planning on spending money today. Well, we have a sale. If you get it today, you get this. Okay. Right? And then you go to Rob. Say, Rob, what do you think? Does it look cute? Right? You ask your boyfriend, does it look cute? Do you think? Rob goes, it looks awesome. You go, okay, I'm going to get it. But you said no 2 to 5 times. That's consumer psychology. That's not Cutco psychology. So if that's the case, watch this. And this is a light bulb. Every time people go, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. What's the first step we teach you to sell? Yeah, you give the price of $12.73 here. If a customer starts at this as their first offer, if you say no 2 to 5 times, you're at an essential set, studio set, and that's $300. That's why it's an average order. So in theory, if you start all the way at the top and they say no 2 to 5 times, you should end higher. So in theory, what should you start with?
Kitchen.
The kitchen. And our Cutco sales professionals, that's careful, the ones who do this as a career, they all start with the kitchen. They'll say, Miss Naomi, so this is our Cutco kitchen. This is where customers go for. And what they'll do is they'll staff their whole kitchen. We got the cookware, we got the flatware, and of course we have the Cutco knives. And here are the different options. That goes for like $4,000 to $6,000 depending on the option. So here's what we can do. Here's the price. Did you want to go and get that today? Small nod and shut up. They say no. Oh, okay, no problem. You know, just so I know, what was it about the kitchen? Was it too much for the price or too many knives and too many items? Oh, okay. I don't want to press you. Let me go to the next one, and we can actually eliminate one of the two, and we can show you the knives and the flatware. That price comes to $4,000 here. So did you want to get that one? No. Okay, no problem. Let me go through the next part. This is what I'm supposed to show you. I can show you just the knives, which is the complete set, and this one's a $26.29 and on sale. Blah 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 blah. Here's the free stuff. Did you want to get that today? We go all the way down signature. No. Okay. This is just tell you what, this is our homemaker. This is for people who only cook 2 to 3 times a week, and some people can get started with that. And you'll have customers that go, yeah, we weren't really planning on getting along. Let's just start with that. It's all because you framed it that this is the start. That light bulb? Yeah. Now, I want to be careful. Starting here is too hard for you and you're new. If you're not at like $30,000 in sales, you shouldn't even look at that. Now, if you've sold a kitchen, it's because you've sold these first, and then you just sold the kitchen this weekend. It's because they knew they like this, and then they would upgrade. That happens all the time. But I don't want you to start with that because you'll scare customers away with $4,000 to $6,000. In theory, ready? You also could do what's called our small, medium, large clothes, which you know already, right? But you can sell these 3 as the option. You start with like the complete or signature, and if you start there, you'll end higher. But what I want to do is to make it really easy for you is I want you to start higher than the homemaker, but at a comfortable rate. So it's not that much more, but it will increase your average order. I want you to start right here in between the homemaker and the signature. And this is what I'm going to call our kitchen system, not the kitchen, which is here. This is our kitchen system. Okay. And you're going to dig this. This is so funny, right? You'll go, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. So the kitchen system, okay? Well, I didn't know there was a set called the kitchen system. There isn't. Okay? There's a technique called clustering or grouping, okay, where you group products together and create a new package. It's also called packaging. So the kitchen system, watch this, and I'll do, you guys know page 8 and 9. The last part says, Mrs. Jones, at twice the quality and twice the value, should be twice the price. And at twice the price, you're talking over. Yeah. And what do you do on a piece of paper? Okay, you're talking over. I did legs today. It's hard to bend. Okay. You're talking over $4,000. But let me show you what you get and why that's a great deal. Remember, you talk like it's $4,000. This is Jones. This is our Homemaker Plus 8. It's our set for people who cook an average of 2 to 3 times a week. And it has our 10 basic tools, the 8 table knives at the bottom of the oak wood block. Right, you guys know that part? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now instead, watch. So, Mrs. Jones, you're talking over $4,000 for your set of Cutco. Let me show you what you get. This is our Homemaker Plus 8. It's got our 10 basic tools, 8 table knives, the bottom of the beautiful oak wood block. Now, this Homemaker comes in what we call our kitchen system. So it also has our kitchen tools and our super shears for serving and those shears that I showed you earlier. The great thing about our kitchen system is that it's not over $4,000, although it would be if we were sold in stores. As a matter of fact, it's not even as much as this wool stove set, which goes for $3,000. Mrs. Jones, the kitchen system is only $1,567. So where's that number coming from? All I'm doing is adding the Homemaker plus the kitchen tool set plus the shears price together. Is that a light bulb? Mrs. Jones, so this is our kitchen system. And if you want to get it on 5-month interest-free payment plan, it's only $338 a month. It's roughly a grocery bill at Publix, which is true. And for free, we have a buy now bonus. If you go ahead and get that set today, Mrs. Jones, I can let you pick $200 worth of any of our gift and accessories in the accessory pack. So I wouldn't be doing my job today if I didn't ask you, Mrs. Jones, did you want to go ahead and get the kitchen system and get your free stuff? Smile, nod, and be quiet. Now, if they say yes, awesome. Ready? Instead of selling $1,273, you sold $1,500. I just increased your average order by $200. But the whole point isn't necessarily to sell that, although I want you to. It's that you start higher. So if you start higher, you also want and higher. So if they say no, you say, oh, Mrs. Jones, no problem. Instead of the kitchen system, which is the Homemaker, the kitchen tool set, and the super shears, what we can do is our next set is called our mini kitchen system. And all we do is we take off the one you wouldn't use the most. So you wouldn't use the kitchen tools? Okay. So that's called our mini kitchen system. And you look up the price. That set price is this one. And here's the payment plan. Okay, Mrs. Jones, that's still too much? No problem. We can just take out the super shears and you can just get the basic starter set. And notice what I said? This is just the starter set. Sometimes just saying that the Homemaker is a starter set already makes the customer feel like it's so small. The reason why a lot of people don't sell their first Homemaker signatures and completes or not as often is because the way we say it makes the Homemaker seem so big. Mrs. Jones, you can just get the Homemaker to get started. That's only $1,273. On the payment plan, it's only $272. Did you want to get that one today? And I can still give you $100 worth of free stuff in the catalog. Okay. And if you still can't get there, see, Mr. Jones, tell you what, it seems like you really like it, Miss Naomi. Tell you what, I have a discount today. Instead of the free stuff, I thought you liked that deal. This is yesterday in my office. Right? Instead of the deal with the free stuff, I can give you a discount, right? And I can give it to you for $10.50. We discount it. So ready? Even if they still say no, you say, Mrs. Jones, I'll tell you what, I don't want to pressure you. Let's just go to our next set. It's a lot cheaper. It's called the galley. So my customers, if they start on the kitchen, if you start on this kitchen system, if they say no 5 times, I'm still selling a galley for $900. And I don't give anything for free on that. But I do for the rest, right? If they say no 5 times to you, you're selling a starter set or a custom set. Light bulbs? So all I'm saying is just start a little bit higher, okay? So and you want to double check the price. You can actually take your price list. You can do Homemaker Plus 8. Actually, Julie, if you want, Homemaker Plus 8, kitchen tools, and super shears. Add that up for me just to make sure. And you can double check with your manager. All I'm saying is I want you to start a little bit higher so you can end higher. Cool? Any questions on the kitchen system? Remember, in the catalog, in Rollo, this is not an actual, there's no set that will come up kitchen tool set. So how do you put into Rollo? Yeah, you put the 3 in individually. Cool. So, Julia, what's the kitchen tools?
255.
That's 112.
And the super shares?
112.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's wrong. It might be old. 16, is that right? 1640? One more time, Julia, homemaker plus 8. Let's do it together. Make sure you get it right. So it's 1273. What's the kitchen tool set with the holder? 5-piece?
255.
255 plus the super shears?
112.
Yeah, 1640. Sorry. 1640. Okay.
For the kitchen set.
Yeah, this is for the kitchen system. This is for all three combined. 1640. That's without plus shipping and tax. And then you can do the payment plan on your own. You guys can figure out from
So
that.
how much is that?
You can do it on your own. Yeah. Divide by 5. Like 3 something. Okay. All right. What I always do is I always do this price with shipping and tax total. I always do whatever that number. You guys have the price list. You can do that. So it's going to come out to maybe text your manager. Okay. And then the payment plan I always like to do without the shipping and tax. And then just say it's like 272 plus shipping and tax. Either way, you guys see what we did? We just started higher. So from here on out, I don't want anyone now to start with the homemaker. You should always start with the kitchen system at 1640. And if you wanted to divide it by 5 without the tax, it's 328. Okay, and you can do Mrs. Jones 328 plus tax. Yep.
I was gonna ask how you want us to start with virtual presentations.
That's the same thing. You just point to, you say, Mrs. Jones, see that kitchen tool set? See that super shears? Yeah, that all comes in our kitchen system. Good question. Does this help?
Yes.
Okay, ready? Even if you sell 0 kitchen systems, your end sale will be higher because of this. And then when you get really advanced, once you get to like 20 and 30 grand in sales, I'll teach you how to start a little bit higher, right? Or if you've had a 10K fast start, we'll probably teach you how to start a little bit higher. But this is a good step up, okay? Good. How was this section? You like this section?
Yeah.
All right, I want you to go through your notes to wrap up. And I want to know your biggest light bulbs from this last few sections. Paola, you want to start us off? Go ahead. What stood out? What did you like?
What you just said right now, just like things very good.
The kitchen system?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Go ahead, Lucas.
So using the points to get more racks.
Yeah, how many like that? Points, right? That's a big deal. And ready? Don't take that lightly. I'm telling you, sometimes, I mean, it's not uncommon. How many of you have sold a set, homemaker or higher, and you didn't have to get free stuff? You only had to get something small. Okay, cool. In my opinion, I don't, if I don't have to, I don't want to give anything for free to get a sale, but I'll still give 200, 300, 400 points away at the end of that order so I can get lots of recs. I want you to increase what you think is big. Like 20 shouldn't be a lot of recs for you. 40 is big, 60 is big, 80 is big, but 20 should be easy if you just do all the smiley stuff. Okay, good. Other takeaways, what else stood out? Go ahead, Danielle.
Also, like really like the recommendations. Telling them like the free stuff, and then they hit you up with like more recommendations, and then like they'll also be telling their friends and everything else.
Yeah, word of mouth travels fast, does, and especially with Mac moms, right? They love to talk. Go ahead, Grace.
Just like giving them a heads up in the beginning of the recommendations so they're not falling apart.
Yeah, like the magic phrasing. Good. Marley.
Those 10 extra secure 10 extra points for each $100 spent.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge.
You didn't know that? Oh, you mean the 10 extra points. I see. Yep.
Yeah.
So now you know you can give more for free. By the way, if you have a bigger order and you really need to use the points to get the order, you could also do that too. Like did we use points to help you get that kitchen, or was it pretty straightforward?
They're just like really excited about the whole thing.
Okay, so
Like,
that's a
never
different
really
customer.
had
But
the
if I have a customer that likes the complete or more, I might give a lot of the points just to close that sale too. But always save a little bit. Always save something to give away for recommendations. Okay, over here, someone has their hand up. Go ahead, sir.
When you open the close the book, you put everything to the side.
Okay, good. So would you say you got value in coming here today?
Yeah.
You feel like you can implement better?
Yeah.
Good. So let's wrap up to the last sheet of paper, and we're going to get out super early. So nice job. We'll get out here in the next 10 minutes, maybe 15. We'll be out 15, 20 minutes early. Is that cool? Okay, that's your fault, not mine. Okay. So my first tip, and I want you to write this in all caps. Okay. Ready? Not all at once. What does that tip mean? Who can tell? I just gave you a lot of cool tips. What's not all at once mean? Julia.
Give all your free stuff away.
Actually, I agree, but no, that's not what I mean. Yeah, I agree with you though. Go ahead, Danielle.
Like all the information, like
Yeah.
kind of like.
Yeah, I just gave you a lot of tips. Probably if I count every individual tip I gave you today, it's probably in excess of 50.
Yeah.
Okay. Do not try to do everything. Okay, here's my rule of thumb. Ready? 3 at a time for 3 appointments before you add something else. Yeah, start with 3. Pick 3 tips and do it for 3 appointments. If you feel comfortable, add 1 more thing. And then add 1 more thing. If you do 3 things for 3 appointments, you don't feel comfortable, keep practicing. But let me give you the first 3 I want you to start with, okay? So I want you to write this down. Here are the 3 things I want you to start with. Number 1, the open, the close the book. The open and close the book of how you get started. Mrs. Jones, can I say thank you? Okay, and tell them I thank you because I've just been so busy and you were so nice to squeeze me in. Have you heard of Cutco? You have. Also, you know how awesome it is. And I'm not a nice salesperson though. The reason I'm working with Cutco is because and here's why I'm working. So do you mind if I share some of my goals with you? That's the first thing, okay? Number 2, start showing Cutco kitchen systems. No homemakers. I know you're someone who's not on my radar and you haven't been to this meeting. When I ask you, hey, what's the first set you show? And you say, oh, 1273. I know that you haven't been to this meeting. Because no one who meets me does that anymore. Okay, so kitchen system. And number 3, your choice. Maybe it's probably use points for Rex. That's easy. Use points for Rex. Okay. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, second tip, right? Second point, we wrap up. Be at the next event. I'm going to write down, be at the next event. And the next event is the biggest, baddest event we have. It's called Summer Conference 2. The Summer Conference 2 is going to be on July 27th and 28th in Atlanta, Georgia. We're taking actually 3 charter buses from Florida United. And we're even flying some people up from Puerto Rico just to come. It's the biggest, baddest, highest motivation, highest instruction, highest level caliber of teaching meeting that we run of the entire year. And what we do is we take all the top managers, all the top sales reps, including our region manager, Mr. Scott Dennis, who runs, he's my boss. And we take all of the top students in the East Coast from Virginia through the Carolinas, through Georgia, and through Florida Caribbean and Florida Gulf. And we invite them to a convention center in Atlanta, Georgia. So it's a cool road trip. And what we do is we offer the highest caliber training. And if you take a look, we have some pictures here of some past events, right? And the house is packed. And if you came to the division meeting, okay, imagine that 5 times, 6 times in size, okay? We're going to have just shy of 2,000 of the top college Cutco students in the entire region in a hotel. And it's funny because all the people that attend that end up having the highest sales. All the people that get invited to that also get an opportunity to hear of how they can earn an interview for TLA Leadership Academy, okay? So do your best to earn a spot at that conference. When I think of someone who's had the best possible experience, think about college. I think of Florida State all the time because I went to a state school in Maryland. I went to University of Maryland, okay? When I think of college, I think of people who went to college and I commuted, and I think of people who lived on campus. 2 different experiences in college, right? And you live on campus, right? Yeah, I couldn't imagine going to Florida State and living off campus, like not in the city of Tallahassee, like far out. I couldn't imagine going to college because when you go to college and you live on campus, I mean, not just the fun and party and all that. Although that's good too. Right? I mean, just the experience of being on campus and having school pride. And then I look back and go, when I was in college, ... It's the same thing everyone says who did Cutco through college with us. They always go, you know what? It's SC2. There's a difference between people who get invited and go and experience SC2 and the people who didn't get invited. So make sure you're working hard to show your manager that it's worthwhile and, show that you're willing to go to a conference and improve your personal skills. Show that, hey, I'm excited to get into Leadership Academy. Show that, hey, I'm willing to do things like get better at my craft. Also, lest we forget that you make more money after. That's really cool. So talk to your manager. In fact, we have this big push contest going on right now. If you don't know the dates, you should definitely write these down. Starting yesterday, July the 9th, until the 27th, we have an 18-day push contest. And the more you sell, the more prizes you can win. You can talk to your managers about it tomorrow at the meeting. But not including the fast start, there are still multiple levels. In fact, how many of you did not hit your first 10-day fast start and didn't hit 10K? Okay, there's a chance to still earn the VIP night. There's a chance to relive that, okay? And here's what I will say. A big way to have a great push and have a great sales period for the next 17 days is to get and ask about getting onto our 10K Alliance. A couple of you, I think, how many of you are on 10K Alliance right now? Okay. If you haven't heard about it, it's a special hand-selected group of people in every office across the division where they're getting specialized training on a daily basis. And Monday through Friday, they're getting extra coaching on top. Monday through Friday. Monday and Friday, we do a divisional conference call where the whole state of Florida and Puerto Rico gets extra training, motivation, instruction, all those things. And more importantly, these are the individuals who are going to end up selling anywhere between 10, 20, up to 30, 40,000 plus in Cutco in 18 days. And in fact, to give you an idea, this is a picture of one of our alliances. So this is last year's alliance. Okay, and these are students from our office who signed up to work hard. And what they're doing is they're putting extra training into their blue books. They're getting extra coaching. Did you guys like this session? Yeah. So imagine this session every day. And it's a short hour every morning. It's in the morning. It's at 7:30. Everyone comes together. They learn. And then we do phone time together. So you always book for appointments. The best people are always here. And then we do fun stuff. Like last year, we went go-kart racing with our team, right? This is us right before we got into the go-karts. This was actually a few days ago. Just kick off the alliance, getting things started. Some instruction, right? This is me taking a selfie with, after everyone does the instruction, everyone gets on the phone. And we always have breakfast. The team that wins together, eats together, plays together. You guys know that if you're in sports, okay? And of course, it's a ton of fun. This is last year's alliance, and everyone's eating donuts, right? Cool. So a couple things, all right? I think it's important to ask your manager about the 10K Alliance because I think some of you would be really well suited to be on the Alliance. And if you're really TLA hungry, I call it, TLA hungry, ask your manager, you should be on the Alliance. It'll help you sell more for that, okay? So I want to wrap up with a couple of surprises. This is actually the big surprise. And your managers probably won't believe you when you tell them I did this. But you were at the division meeting? You were at the division meeting? Who else was at the division meeting a few weeks ago in Fort Myers? So 2 of you, okay. So we have this big competition, and I'm really excited for us to compete with all the other divisions in this contest. But besides that, I'm really looking forward to interviewing the best 130 to 150 candidates in Florida. Right? There will be 250 people competing for spots, but I really want to find the best people. And what I found is that attitude is everything. What I found is that people who have work ethic always beat people who have talent. All right. What I found is that when you have someone who's coachable and is willing to do things to get better, that's the type of person we want in Leadership Academy. Okay. So my surprise to all of you, and your managers don't know this, so when you tell them to text me so I can tell them it's real. Okay. We are trying to bring the best people to Georgia and to Atlanta. And one of the things I do know is that this meeting is actually an optional meeting. Like today, did you feel like it was worth it today? Yeah, but do you know there are 10 people that said they didn't want to come? They declined. And then I have no ill feelings. But there are people who said, no, I'd rather do appointments. So what I've decided to say is, look, who are people that are willing to do the extra, like drive to Fort Lauderdale from Miami or from Fort Myers? Who are the people that are down the street, but you could be doing 4 to 6 appointments today? You know it's worth it now, but you didn't know it when you got here. You just trusted the manager. You were coachable. You guys see that? Yeah. So what I want to offer, and again, I can do whatever I want to my division. So that's pretty cool. Ready? So we have roughly 40 to 50 more spots for our Atlanta, Georgia SC2 conference. I'd like you to know that because you made the trip out here, I'm officially extending an invite to all of you, and you're all officially invited to SC2. Cool? Okay, you can clap. Let's go. Yeah. But you have to let your manager know, and they're gonna go, yeah, right. Because there's a big process of how you get invited, and you have to come to certain events. Okay. So at the end of the meeting, before you leave, I'm gonna have you text your manager a couple of things so that A, they know you're invited, and then B, that it'll help kind of leverage you. Cool? Very cool. How's that sound? So we're going on a road trip. We're going to Atlanta. We're ready. Sell a lot. Yeah. I'm just telling you. The more, and anyone here have some like TLA hunger? Yeah. Ready? Have a big push week. Okay. So last few things. Team builder, personal recruits. We're giving away some sweet prizes, and it's not just the Yeti for all your chocolate milk in college. That's what it's for, right? Just nod your head. Yes. That's all you drink in college, isn't it? At the University of Florida and FSU. When you tailgate, it's all chocolate milk. Yeah, right. It's Cancun. It's all those fun things. But ready? Let me give you a tip on team building. Have pride in how you explain the job. This job changes when you stop saying you're selling knives. Right? Sometimes I have reps that say, yeah, I know it sounds weird, but it's good money. That's like saying, I know my girlfriend's kind of weird, but I'm with her. What the hell? You don't say that. Am I right? But it's the same. It's like saying, I know it sounds really weird, but it's good money. It's the same thing. So let me tell you a story. So a colleague of mine wanted to buy his dream car. His dad's dream car was a Porsche C4S, 911 C4S. It's a fast sports car. I'm not that dangerous. So that's his dream car. Okay, I like the luxury, but he likes the performance. And so he did really well. He's doing well with our company. He's still doing really well. And he went into the Porsche dealership and he said, "All right, this is the day. I'm going to buy my dad's. This is it." He walks in. He says, "Hi, I'm here to buy a car." The salesman says, "Hey, nice to meet you. I'm sorry, can I help you?" "I'm here to buy a car." He goes, "I'm sorry, sir. I don't think I can help you with that today." "Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe you didn't hear me. I'm here going to buy a car." I heard you, sir. I just have to apologize. I don't think we can help you with a car today." Hey, man, I don't know your issue or if you have a problem. If you want to lose business, I'm here and I'm trying to buy a car and no one wants to help me. Salesperson goes, "Sir, please don't be upset. If you want to buy a car, I can't help you. But if you want to buy a Porsche, you came to the right place. Welcome to Porsche." Damn! Right, so what's he saying? You can buy cars, but we don't sell cars. We're Porsche. We're not a car. We're Porsche. What does that mean? We're Porsche. Like, that's how he felt about his dealership, his car. We don't sell knives. You can go to Walmart, you can sell knives. There are actually kitchen cutlery boutiques at the mall. You can sell knives. What do we sell? Yeah. So when you talk about the job, it's like, yeah, it's weird. It's not. If it's weird, it's knives. No one's coming in. Hey, you know what? This is a really awesome program. The product is killer, but I can also get blank, blank, blank from the company. How you speak about the job can help you get more friends on the team. And in general, when you speak to your parents, because when I started, my parents gave me a hard time for a good 3 months. But they stopped giving me a hard time when I put a check for tuition. Yeah. And then when I went to Leadership Academy and I stopped asking for money. And I said, "Hey, Mom, I've invested in a Roth IRA. They taught me this at Leadership Academy. Can you put this $5,500 in this account for me?" Yes. "Hey, Mom, I'm thinking about saving my own this for blank instead of you doing it. Or I want to contribute." Like, that's when they get supportive. Ready? So talk about the job that way, like Porsche, not it's weird selling knives. Feel me? Cool? Yeah. Okay. Last few things. My shameless plug, because I don't throw a bad party. You got to get invited to my VIP night. And how do you get invited? You got to sell 10K. If you're in your fast start, raise your hand. Sell 10K for the fast start. How many of you are out of fast start? Okay. If you didn't get 10K, you sell 10 grand for the push, you get to go on VIP night. Okay. And the VIP night's going to be in downtown Miami. Who's from Miami? I just moved into the newest building in all of Miami. It's called Hyde. It's a Midtown Shops. It's the newest building in all of Miami. It's called Hyde, as in Midtown, Wynwood, right by all the bougie shops. So we're on the not penthouse, but practically we're up there. And what I'm doing is I'm renting out the entire club room of the condo. It's killer. It's sick. And we're doing a VIP night in downtown Miami. And my fiance and I, we're foodies, so we're gonna get all the best food in Miami, including croquetas, of course, right? And all the Cuban food. But we're gonna fancy it up, and we're gonna have an epic dinner, fun experience. We're gonna network. You're gonna meet some of the best people, and then afterwards, I let you guys do your own thing because I just know when to leave and let you guys go. I know when you guys can have fun. Okay, but I've done multiple events. This one was the last one we did in Brickell, down Dolores Lolita, right in downtown Brickell. These are some of your managers, right? This is Luke and his girlfriend Emily from last year. This is Kirsten. She runs a branch office in Boca. This is Grant. He runs all of Naples. 1 year later, same guys are back at it. Here's Andrew from Metro Miami when he was still a branch manager. We do it big when we do VIP night. Private room, private menu, private wait staff. And in my condo, when we do it, we'll do the same thing. We'll have private room, private condo, private wait staff. I'll even pay someone to be a pretend bodyguard. Can I help you, right? Just for fun. Why not? Just for fun, okay? And the dinner's fun. Here's the big part, though. It's the networking. Here's why you don't want to miss a VIP night. When you get connected with the best of the best, it moves your career. Not here, but in life. What do they say about networking? It's not what you know. It's who you know. So if I'm a doctor, I want to know the best doctors. If I'm a lawyer, and so forth and so forth. Here, you'll meet people like Andy. Andy's over $2 million in Cutco sales. Personal, no office. He's been a branch manager. He's been through Leadership Academy in college, but he's 38 years old. He's originally from Haiti, right? From Miami, okay? And he is now one of the most prolific Cutco sellers, but I always invite him to my VIP nights. and he's not too cool for school, right? He's not, oh, I'm so much better than all of you. He gives out his phone number, his card. He said, hey, call me if you need tips. He's the man, okay? So you get a chance to meet people like that, and that's one of like 10 different people like that you want to meet at my VIP night, okay? So, it's also a lot of fun. This was one of last year's VIP nights, and here's what's really cool. This is one of our 3 VIP nights last summer. This was the small one. That was in June. The one in August is like 50, 60, 70 people, depending on how many people went in, right? And these are a lot of our top students who ended up being some of our top people the following summer. And if you're from Broward or Miami, you might know some of these people. Anyone know someone here? Who do you know? Oh, Steph Taylor, yeah, from Pinecrest. That's right. Tennis. You know Malloy? Yeah, volleyball. And she goes to Fordham. And these are all students who have done cut through college with us. And this one, we just had one last June in Brickell. And this is this summer, right? So this is Alex from Metro Miami, right? Zach's from our office. This is Andrew and his girlfriend. This is Heidi. There's Andy. Okay, there's Eddie from Metro Miami. Okay. There's Julia. Okay, there's Juan from Metro Miami. There's Luke. And we had a great time. Ask them about the dinner. Ask them how they got a chance to talk to Andy. Okay. And then, of course, my shameless plug, get Cancun if you can. Like that's exciting. And team builder, that can help you out. If you're in your fast start, sell 15 grand or have enough people that will help you get on to get to 15 grand. Okay. My last few thoughts. If you don't already know, I would have what's called your Dirty 30 birthday plan. Okay. Your birthday is the day you celebrate when you're born. Your Dirty 30 birthday is the day you celebrate and target when you hit Dirty 30. Okay, so right now in your notes, okay, I want you to write down Dirty 30 birthday. And to wrap up, I'm going to give you a contest before you get out of here. How's that sound? I like to give a contest to leave. Okay, and we're out of here early. Here's what I'd like you to text your manager. Okay, if you're in our office, right? I think Luke's busy, so text him. Okay, if he's not, then you can ask him. So number one, I want you to text your managers. How do I get on key staff? Ask how do I get on key staff? Because that's the first step. If you don't get on key staff, none of this is possible. So ask your manager. There's 3 things. Okay. How do I get on key staff? Hey Andrew, what's up? I want to get on key staff. And Julia actually asked me, hey Luke, I just talked to Jeff. What's up with key staff? I don't know. However you talk to your manager. 2. Ask them about if 10K Alliance would be a good thing for you. Hey, what are your thoughts about me joining 10K Alliance? Hey, Luke, I just talked to Jeff. He invited me to the conference. Hey, what do you think about 10K Alliance? And they'll walk you through. Eddie, Andrew, Eric, Orlando, Luke, they'll walk you through. And you know what's funny? I think it'd be good for all of you to be on the 10K Alliance and really learn from the best of the best people. And the third one, this is the one where they might not believe you, but if they give you any problem saying like, oh, I think you misunderstood Jeff, like have them text me, let them know you got invited to SC2. Let them know, and they'll go, I don't know, maybe you were not taking notes properly. Just have them text me. Got it? We're planning. So I'll give you 30 seconds. Send that text now. We're early.
We're planning on calling here in the car.
But he might be in an interview. That's why,
really?
Yeah. So your managers are all in like interviews right now. So text them real quick. Ask about key staff.
I did ask that.
And make sure you let them know that you're invited to 10K Alliance. Make sure you text Luke real quick. If you're in my office, text. He's in the next room, but I think he's on an interview, so text Luke. Yeah. Ask about key staff. Hey, how do I get on key staff? Or what's up with key staff? Or how do I get promoted to key staff? Number 2, can we talk about Alliance? Or hey, what do you think about me being on Alliance?
Yeah. Actually, we said we talked
Yeah. Hey, what do you think about 10K Alliance? Or hey, can I get more information? Or hey, Jeff said it might be a good idea for me to be. It would be a good idea for me to get on 10K Alliance. And third, you can even preface, this is not a joke. Or Jeff said you might not believe me. Whatever you want to say. I just got invited to SC2. And you can do your little smiley emojis or the. Okay.
so weird looking at these.
Got it. Give me another 20 seconds and then I'll wrap up and get you out of here. Okay, make sure you send it to your manager. Got it? Okay. So if you get, I'm going to end up giving you my phone number. I'll wait. So I like hashtags. It's fun. So if I text back to you, right, United Train, there's just something to be said about coming from our Florida United division. We're one of the top divisions in the company. There's a lot of pride. United, best version of yourself, cut through college, become a 5-star recruit, and who's going to be here for 2019? Okay. So if I text back with you, I'll end up sending this to a lot of you. Okay. And so we talked about this already, but make sure when you're texting, tell your manager about those 3 things. And I think what I've tried to do for you is I've created a networking opportunity for you to have conversations on advancement. Okay, I've set it up because you coming here is a big deal because you put effort into learning and getting network with me. So I want to give it back to you to go to your managers. Okay, so I'm going to give you let's do a contest to wrap up. Cool? Yeah. So here's my phone number. Okay, this is my personal cell phone number. Okay.
You still have the Maryland area code?
Yeah, I'll never get rid of that. Yeah. Okay. All right. 410-725-0284. Here's what I'll say. Hey, Mila, can you let staff know we're wrapping up for adjourn, right? Here's my phone number. Here's how texting works. I know a lot of you are on WhatsApp. I only WhatsApp with people who I'm on all the groups, all of your groups I'm on. But as far as giving me hot updates to get on my radar, I want you to text me directly to my cell phone. Okay, and then if you get into TLA or you get an interview, then I transfer you to WhatsApp. Let me do that. Okay, there's no too late or too early to text me because after a certain time, I don't even have my phone on me anyway at night. And in the morning, I'm an early bird. So if you text me, just know that I may not respond right away, but I will always check all of them. How many of you have already had some exchanges with me? It's like a couple of. Yep, I remember actually all of your exchanges. Okay, the more you're texting me, the better it is for you in terms of TLA and TLA interviews. Because let's say it's at the end of July, and let's say there are 30 spots left for a TLA interview, and there are 50 of you. I'm going to pick the 30 that I know the best. Let's say all your sales are the same, and all of you are good people, and all of you have team building, but the difference is who communicates with me. I'll pick the 30 that I know I talk to a lot, and that I have name to the face. So text me. So what does that mean? What do I text Jeff? Well, I want to hear any hot updates on implementing stuff I taught you. I want doing the job, right? Sell a homemaker, signature, complete, or higher. Okay. And every time you hit a promotion, 1, 3, 6, 10, 20. So doing the job, promotions, and anything that you implemented. I think it's really important. And I want to do a contest. So first of all, text me as much as possible. At some point, I'll get back to you. The more you text, the better. Number 2, here's my contest. I want to see who's putting things to use right away. That's a good sign of a good coachable student. And when I teach you and you put it to use. So the first person to sell a kitchen system or higher. Okay, so here or higher from this meeting. So it might be appointments tonight. Okay, you got to text me and say, Jeff, am I the first one? I just sold a kitchen system or I just sold a complete. I will give you a choice of 2 prizes. Okay, the first choice. What happens when you get 150 sponsors? I'm sorry. What happens when you get 50 sponsors? Sorry. Yeah, you essentially get a free knife. Okay. So the first person to text me tonight, it might be tomorrow morning, but probably tonight, kitchen system or higher, I will hook you up and you pick whatever knife you want. Or under the banner of networking, if you pick the other prize, I will come to your territory. So if you're in Miami, I'll come down to Miami. I live there, so it's easy. If you're in Fort Myers, I'll drive over. If you're in Aventura, I'll drive over. If you're in Broward County, I'll come over. And what I will do is I will take you and your manager to lunch, and you can ask me all the Cutco questions one-on-one you want. You can sit down and ask me about TLA. I'll do my presentation for you. I've done that in restaurants. That doesn't matter to me. And I'll feed you.
Okay, then.
Okay. So and if you pick the Cutco knife, I won't feel disrespected because I know those knives will help you sell. But pick me. It's better for your networking. Cool.
Yeah.
And in fact, I owe Julia from Metro Miami. I owe Alex from Metro Miami. And I owe 2 people from Fort Lauderdale so far lunch, and we like to do it in a group. And I don't throw a bad party. I also don't throw a bad lunch. Cool?
Yeah.
Light bulbs today? Yes? Okay. I thought we had an awesome session. I want to say thanks to all of our crew who was virtual. I asked three things. If you say thank you, that's great. But if you really want to thank me, get better. If you really want to thank me, advance. If you want to thank me, ready? Get what you want from the company because that's what we want for you. Okay. So I only ask that you shake my hand when you leave.
Of course.
Everyone, adios. Have a great evening.
Thank you so
Thanks for a great session. Give yourselves a round of applause. That's pretty good. Nice job on today. Okay. Thanks everyone virtually. I appreciate your time.